organizers who've been on the ground, who actually have the information, who've already done the work, instead of starting your own. Oftentimes when you're like, who's doing it? It's like someone. You just need to learn who, and then you need to be the pack mule in the fight that they have been doing and organizing, because let me tell you what we need is pack mules, because there's brilliant minds and brilliant leaders in this community who oftentimes are putting up the folding chairs when they should be literally strategizing, because that's their strong suit. So be the folding chairs people, be the I'll bring donuts people for the brilliant minds who are actually making this train run. And on that note, I'm going to bring up some really brilliant minds who helped organize this entire day across the country and the world. They are tireless humans. Some I have met just recently and I so admire. Some I've met today. Some whose work I've admired from afar. But you're so lucky to have them here today to speak to you about what you've done, and more importantly, where we need to go and what we need to do. So remember what I said just 2 seconds ago about when they tell you, do that. Do that thing. So please welcome to the stage the organizers of this incredible movement. Oh my gosh, wind. Sorry. Co-executive directors of Indivisible, Leah Greenberg and Ezra Levin. The 5051 National Coordinator, Sarah Parker, Executive Director of Move On, Katie Bethel, and President of Public Citizen, Rob Weissman. Bring them up, everybody! Put that up a little bit.
My name is Sarah Parker, and I am the Executive Director of Voices of Florida Fund and a National Coordinator of 5051. I am honored to be here among heroes, and I mean you, the locals standing in front of me today. I want to use this moment to honor you, every single one of you who took part in the resistance in any small way. You are the heroes in this story. You turned the cameras back on them, and you put your life on the line. Across the country, people are building power. People are building community. And every time this administration swings, we will grow stronger. Every time our neighbors are kidnapped by masked men, we will grow bigger. And every time they think we are losing hope, we will become more determined. We are the linchpin in our democracy. No Kings is calling for people just like you across the country to continue to build local power and those networks, to protect your neighbors and stand up and fight back. If there's anything I've learned living in Florida, you can't cede a damn inch to this authoritarian administration and to a man who has an ego of a king and the temperament of a child. We will not give in. We will not give up. They tried to control the narrative, and we are taking it back. The truth is immutable. We were never the villains in this story. They have always been. We demand accountability. We demand an end to reckless masked men terrorizing our neighborhoods. We demand an end to abortion bans. We demand justice and peace for our Black, brown, and LGBTQIA communities. And we demand free and fair elections. And right now, we demand an end to this reckless, illegal
our country and reminded the world that the opposite of authoritarianism is not just justice and democracy and freedom. It's also solidarity and community and love and neighbors. and persistence. And now, as we rally here, 100,000 or more strong and across the nation in the largest day of protest in American history, we have to persist. We have to persist to end this illegal, unconstitutional, and devastating war on Iran, and make sure that Congress does not give a penny more to pay for or extend this war. We have to persist to make sure we have free and fair elections, that everyone can vote, and that all the votes are counted. And we have to persist to win our yes agenda. Yes to health care for all. Yes to tax the rich. Yes to the clean energy revolution. Yes to overturn Citizens United. Yes for a living wage. Yes to make sure every person has the right to organize into a union. Yes to make sure there is equality for every human being living in the United States, whatever their status, whatever language they speak, whatever their gender. Now say this with me, my friends. Say this with me. No kings, no ice, no war. Democracy is what we're fighting for. No kings, no ice, no war. Justice is what we're fighting for. No kings, no ice, no war. Health care and human rights and dignity and freedom and love and peace is what we're fighting for. No kings, no ice, no war. No kings, no ice, no war. No kings, no ice, no war. Thank you. You're beautiful.
Hi, Minnesota. It is incredible to be here with you today. I'm Leah.
Hey, and I'm Leah's husband, Ezra. This is our wedding anniversary.
And we are proud to support a movement of thousands of local indivisible groups across the country building power on their home turf, including the incredible groups of Minnesota. Now, today is historic. We are seeing 3,300 protests across every state and congressional district in America standing up to say we have no king. But Minnesota, of all people, you know that it takes more than one day of protest to defeat fascism. It is going to take relentless, determined, creative organizing to protect our neighbors and to stand for our rights. The nation learned that from you. We learned it from every Minnesotan who stood up to protect their neighbors. We learned it from everyone who went out after the shootings, the murders of Alex Preddy and Renee Good, from everyone who came out after the murder of Melissa Hortman to say that fear won't win, hate won't win, that in Minnesota you protect your neighbors and you stand up for democracy. Now, if there is anything we know about would-be dictators, it is that when they start to lose their grip, they get even more dangerous. They escalate, they invade, they attack. Donald Trump is facing down a midterm election that he knows he is going to lose because people hate this mad king business. And so what is he going to do? He's going to try to steal it. But he's going to fail because we are going to stop him.
That's right.
So for the 100,000 Twin Cities residents in the crowd right now, we have an ask to share on behalf of our friends at Indivisible Twin Cities. Text PLEDGE 30319. Text PLEDGE to 30319 to take the Pledge of Resistance with Indivisible Twin Cities and say you're ready to show up and mobilize in the event of election sabotage.
Sorry, folks, I'm back. This is the largest protest in Minnesota history. Good job, everybody. Now, if you know anything about Indivisible, we have a real bias towards action. So we're gonna give you some actions. Leah just gave you one action for everybody in the Twin Cities. There are millions of people watching now. And for the millions of people around the country, around the globe, we've got to work in concert with the Minnesotans. When Trump tries to sabotage the midterms, we need to match the depth of the organizing that we've seen here in Minnesota with the breadth of the organizing we're seeing all over the world for No Kings 3. So what does that mean? Let's get specific. I want everybody here to put this on your calendar. The next major national action of this movement is not just going to be another protest. It is a tactical escalation. An escalation. It is an economic show of force inspired by Minnesota's own Day of Truth and Action. We all saw this. Thousands of teachers and nurses, community leaders, faith leaders showing up in sub-zero temperatures, showing this state that they were not going to put up with business as usual while a secret police goon squad was murdering Americans in the streets. We need to do that nationally, y'all. We need to do that all over the country. So on May 1st, on May Day, across the country, we are saying no business as usual. No work, no school, no shopping. We're going to show up and say we're putting workers over billionaires and kings. Minnesota, we cannot thank you enough for the courage you've displayed, for the instruction you have given. We are going to build on that courage, on that sacrifice, on that dedication, on that organizing. We are going to demonstrate that regular people are the single greatest threat to fascism in this country. It's up to all of us to walk that path. So say it with me as we heard from Rob. No kings, no ice, no war. 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 How many kings? How many kings? Damn right. See you May 1st.
Keep it going! These folks are not messing around. All right. We're going to do a redo because I was out of order and now I'm back in order. It's hard. This is hard, y'all. You know, brain fog, old, menopause. Give me a break. Now we're going to I'm just going to read it again because the importance of this next speaker is really incredible. A healer, a singer, member of the Ojibwe Nation, here to perform a healing song that she wrote in the Ojibwe language 10 years ago. And it is so special because this is the first time the song will be performed outside of the indigenous community. So please, let's start now. Welcome to the stage, Doreen De Wamanukwe. Doreen De Wamanukwe, let's hear it! Bonjour, Indenerwema Gani Dog. Wabanokwe Indishinakas, Wabajeshi and Tu Dame, Aberdeen Aikwa Kape Medeo. Anishinaabe Wa King. Our ancestors are always with us. This is a healing song for all of those that have suffered during this time. Go come sinan giwi taki shigung no jimoya said, no Jemoyan, Ejibemo said, Ejibemo said, Go mesenan giwitagi shigong no Jemoyan Ejibemo said no Jemoyan Ejibemo said Ejibemo said Go mesenan giwitagi shigong no Jemoyan Ejibemo said no Jemoyan Ejibemo said Ejibemo said Go mesenan giwitagi shigong no Jemoyan Ejibemo said no Jemoyan Ejibemo said Ejibemo said
Doride Wabanukwe!
So, y'all, being that a big part of this day is a tribute to all of you, we have another video from another super dope person who couldn't be here but wanted to lend his voice in a sort of montage of all of the great work that you did. There will not be enough dildo throwing in this video, I will warn you, but that's just the world we live in. I'm so sorry. So please take a look at yourselves and see how amazing it really is.
I'm here to tell you a story about Minnesotans. A story about Renee Nicole Good, a mom who wrote poems and had sparkles coming out of her pores. She had whistles. They had guns. A story about Alex Pretty, an ICU nurse who cared for American veterans. Someone who wanted to make a difference in the world and spent his last moments protecting a woman targeted by ICE. A story about Liam Conejo Ramos and his father, Adrian Conejo Arias, a preschooler with a Spider-Man backpack and a blue bunny hat, and his father, who were only trying to get to school. A story about all the people nationwide who have died at the hands of ICE. The thousands in Minnesota and across the country who have been hiding in their homes for months, afraid of being taken by ICE. The hundreds of thousands separated from their families, trapped in detention centers, or deported and dreaming of a way back home. Heartbreaking stories meant to exhaust us into submission. But not you.
May I have your attention for an important public safety announcement. Once again, Minnesotans have shown up. But anytime we have a crowd this large, it is possible for people to become separated. If you have become separated from your family or your group, the place to meet is the Lost and Found area located on Reverend Martin Luther King Boulevard. As you face the Capitol, Reverend Martin Luther King Boulevard is the street to your left. That is where you should go and where you should direct people who are lost. Thank you all for making this a safe event for everyone. And now, are you ready to continue with No Kings 3? We are proud to welcome to the stage organizer, activist, and movement strategist, Ashley Woodard Henderson.
Why are we in this situation that brings us down? Can't you see we are losing patience with oppression now? The people will rise, the people will rise, the people will rise. Sing with me. The people will rise, the people will rise, the people will rise. It looks like you're mighty risen today. It looks like you're mighty risen today. My name is Ashley Woodard Henderson, and I'm going to be your friendly MC today for this No Kings 3 flagship rally. How you doing? Look at this historic moment that Minnesotans built. Not a moment that happened to Minnesotans, but the moment you built. You built this moment. We are standing miles from where federal agents took the lives of Renee Good and Alex Preddy. We're standing in the shadow of the Capitol where Melissa and Mark Hortman lay in state, murdered the morning of the very first No Kings because a man with a hit list tried to stop what we're doing right now. We honor them today. And I need you to understand one more fundamental truth about where we're standing. This is not just a rally site, my friends. I know if you look around, you might think it to be. But this isn't just a rally site. This is a place where a wannabe king sent 3,000 federal agents to terrorize your neighbors. Stephen Miller drew up the blueprint. Y'all heard of that little thing, Operation Metro Surge? They thought it could break Minnesota. They didn't know Minnesota. They didn't know Minnesota. They didn't know the immigrant families and labor unions, faith leaders and soccer moms, retirees and young people would lock arms and say, "Not our neighbors. Not our city. Not our state, not here." Y'all, you didn't just resist. You didn't just show up, you organized. You built phone trees and legal clinics. Y'all built sanctuary networks. You showed up in 10 below 0 degree weather. You came out when they had pepper spray and tear gas and bullets. You came back the next day and the day after that and the day after that, and guess what? The whole damn country told them to leave. And guess what, y'all? Kristi Noem and Greg Bovino, peace, they gone, right? The Twin Cities, the land of 10,000 lakes, guess what? Y'all still here, look around. We out here. That's not just a one-day protest, my friends, that's building power. You all are showing us why we ought to be here. Because Minnesotans proved to our entire country something that we all need to take seriously and learn. We do not wait for permission to protect each other. We do not beg a wannabe king to do the right thing. We organize. We refuse to comply or cooperate with evil forces in high places. When they demand our complicity and quiet disobedience, we do the right thing. We build people power together. And it wasn't just here. It was Los Angeles and Memphis and Washington, D.C., Chicago, Portland, Charlotte, Denver, Atlanta, Newark, Philadelphia, Seattle, Nashville. It was communities across our country. This administration will not win. They will not win. And we will make it clear as they try to prove to us that they will use force against our people, even when we are peaceful. Across our country, our people have made it clear back. We will not be broken. In June, 5 million people took to the streets. In October, 7 million. Right now, right this second, there are 3,300 No Kings actions happening across 16 countries. Y'all, there are No Kings protests on every continent except for Antarctica. They'll catch up. Let me say this again. Nearly every continent on earth is with us. They're out there right now because of what you showed them, Minnesota. So today, we celebrate that. Today, we lift up the people who made this moment happen. Today, we sing and we march and we stand together on this beautiful day at this Capitol and we let them hear us. Do you want to be heard today? Now, y'all know me because y'all been on the mass calls. I have to keep it honest with you. And you know I'm going to keep it real with you today and tomorrow. Today is not the finish line, my friends. How many of y'all, it's your first No Kings? Holler at me if it's your first No Kings. I see you. Welcome. Today is not the end of our work. Today is the beginning. Today is the proof of concept. What you built here in Minnesota, every single community in this country needs help to build. And they're gonna need your help. Y'all, today, we're gonna have a beautiful day, right? We are gonna be powerful together today, right? We are gonna be disciplined in our nonviolence today, right? We're gonna build power together. Let's honor the people that we have lost. Let's celebrate the people who are still fighting, like each and every one of you. And let's get ready, because what comes next is gonna require every single one of us. Y'all, I wanna hear you say it. No ICE, no war, no billionaires, no kings. I think you can, if I don't believe you, they're not. No war, no ICE, no billionaires, no kings. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go.
Please welcome to the stage Gwen Westerman, Minister Janae Bates, Imam Makram El-Amin, and Rabbi Ariel Lekich Rosenberg.
Hamitakiapi. Hello, my relatives. I'm Petukinde, I'm Petuwan Yupia Kaata Hike. Owashte Wayankapi Windemie Damakota. De Dakota Makoche. Ohani Unkiksuapikte. This is for Renee and Liam and Alex and the thousands of others whose names we don't have with us today. When we stand together, possibilities seem endless, but only for those who can look up. How do we reconcile azure sky above white clouds with what is obscured below? The winding rivers, the broken hearts, the soulless eyes, the brush of wings, the lost dreams. Possibilities are endless, yet the needs are beyond measure. When time has run out and ties have been broken, when speaking out means losing your life, when chaos abounds and there is no shelter, when protecting a woman means losing your life. Who recognizes her talent when she has no hope? Who lends a hand when he cannot get up?
So the
Who
most
welcomes
recent sort of
them when all the doors close? The possibilities are endless when we stand together. Reach out, join hands, look up. We are Minnesota strong.
Thank you, Gwen. Hello, Minnesota. I am Minister Janae Bates Amari. I am the co-executive director of Isaiah and Faith in Minnesota in this awesome state. And can I keep it real with you all for a minute? Can I keep it real with you all for a minute? I'm going to talk very, very clearly, fully, and unapologetically as a country who are using something called white Christian nationalism. And right now we are in the Lenten season. We are in the Lenten season. We are getting ready to celebrate tomorrow, Palm Sunday. And on Palm Sunday, there were two processions that happened. There was one that we hear about with Jesus on a donkey, but there was another with Pontius Pilate and Caesar, who declared himself as king, who tried to hold down the people of that time, who tried to tell us that we do not deserve better, who tried to oppress people with cruelty, who tried to tax people and take their wages and use them for things that were not about feeding the hungry, that were not about healing the sick, that were not about caring for the poor, that were not about loving thy neighbor. And that is what we who call ourselves Christians are supposed to do. And so as thousands of Christians are prepared to come right back here tomorrow at 2:30, right back here at this Capitol, we are coming together to declare that Christians need to stand up right now at this time. That's right. Christians, especially in Minnesota, and Minnesotans across race and faith, have gotten to bear witness something great here. We have witnessed some horror and some terror and some harm and some abductions and some killing. But we've also witnessed what it means to love thy neighbor and to live that sermon out loud. And so my prayer for all of us Minnesotans, and the invocation in this moment, is that we take seriously our responsibility, that it is on us, that we have agency, that we get to decide what liberation is, and there is certainly no king in no White House who will do that for us. So I hope that I get to see many of you right back here tomorrow at 2:30 at this Capitol. But I also hope and pray that we continue to move our feet, because because we may have won a battle, but we're going to win the greatest of all time because Minnesotans are going to be that North Star. Minnesotans are going to be the one that become the light. We are going to be the ones to show this country how a neighbor loves their neighbor.
Greetings of peace. I greet you with the universal greeting of peace. Assalamu alaikum. May God's peace be with you. I am Imam Makram El-Amin, and I stand before you today as a Muslim. I stand before you as an imam, as an African-American man whose very existence is rooted in the struggle for dignity, justice, and freedom. Oh God, the creator of all, Lord of humanity, you created us from a single soul and made us nations and tribes that we may come to know each other. We ask you this day to bless this gathering, not just for our presence, but for our purpose, not just for our voices, but for our courage. We stand together in this moment where power seeks to concentrate itself in the hands of a few. Where fear is used to divide neighbor from neighbor, where the language of domination is dressed up as order. But we know better. We have seen this before. We carry the memory of oppression in our very bones. And we also carry the legacy of resistance in our spirits. Oh God, strengthen us to speak truth to power, not with hatred, but with clarity, not with violence, but with unwavering convictions. Let us not be intimidated by the machinery of authoritarianism, nor seduced by the comfort of silence. May us all people stand together for justice even when it's inconvenient. Make us people who protect the vulnerable even when it costs us something. Make us people who refuse to bow to any king except for you. And while we stand firm, oh God, strengthen our hearts towards one another. In this interfaith gathering, remind us that our diversity is not weakness, it is our witness. Together, Muslims, Christians, Jewish people, and people of consciousness will form a moral arc that no regime can permanently bend away from justice. Oh God, raise us to a higher level today. Let us be a just rally, not just a rally, but a renewal of our commitment to each other, a renewal of our belief that justice is still possible, a renewal of their courage to build a nation lives in its highest ideals. And when history remembers this moment, let it be said that we did not shrink, we stood. We did not divide, we united. We did not despair, we believed. May God bless you all. God protect this city, and God protect all of those who are working for justice, dignity, and peace. Ameen.
Good afternoon, Minnesota. You're beautiful. My name is Rabbi Ariel Lekach Rosenberg. I'm the rabbi of Shir Tikva in South Minneapolis. I am so honored to be here today. Will you sing with me? Will you sing with me? No one is getting left behind this time. No one is getting left behind. No one is getting left behind this time. We get there together, never get there at all. We get there together, never get there at all. We get there together, never get there at all. So dear ones, welcome to this epic family reunion. And what a family we are. The people of Minnesota with our whistles, with our cell phones doing everything we can to stop the federal government's invasion of our home. Everything we can to stop authoritarianism. Now, Jewish people will tell the story this week around our Passover tables of our ancestors leaving the narrowness of oppression as an Erev Rav, as a multiracial, cross-class, intergenerational multitude, an enduring coalition. Our ancestors crossed the sea with their neighbors. They would not leave each other behind. And in Minnesota, we have created an ecosystem of resistance in the face of fascists and white Christian nationalists. Bound together, we work to keep each other safe. And these oligarchs, they're scared of our network of neighbors, this web of care, and they should be. And we're here together today to say no. No to the abductions, no to the brutality of this federal invasion, no to fascism, no to any leader that attempts to lead without the will of the people. But we are also saying a loud and beautiful yes to the world that we want, yes to repairing our communities, yes to our shared dignity, yes to our defiant joy. So Holy One, be with us now, this irrepressible coalition, calling on our neighbors across the country and around the world to join us, to show up with the strength of our no and the chutzpah and the vitality of our yes, that we might build a world founded on a transformative love for one another that gives us the strength to oppose the forces of domination. So Holy One, make us a people who say yes and yes and yes to one another. Yes to creativity, yes to courage, yes to belonging to this expansive and expanding coalition. No one is getting left behind this time. We get there together or never get there at all.
No Kings is proud to welcome to the stage the 41st governor of the great state of Minnesota, Tim Walz, and First Lady Gwen Walz.
Wow. Hello, Minnesota. Welcome to the freest state in the nation. A state where you love who you choose to love. A state where you make your healthcare decisions. A state where you worship or not according to your own beliefs. And maybe most importantly, a state where everyone belongs. Thank you to all the organizers. Thank you to our sisters and brothers in labor for the work you do every day and being here making this possible. Look, when the wannabe dictator in the White House sent his untrained, aggressive thugs to do damage to Minnesota, it was you, Minnesota, who stood up for your neighbors, who stood up for decency, who stood up for kindness. And at this moment that we are still in, when democracy itself seems to be at risk, it was Minnesota who said, not on our watch, not on our watch. You are the heart and soul of what the nation saw that is good in this nation. But make no mistakes about it. They did damage. They killed Renee and Alex. They traumatized our neighbors. And just be very clear, our weather may be a little cool, but our people are warm and we're fierce. And my message, because this is not over, don't ever mistake our kindness for weakness. We demand justice for Renee Good and Alex Preddy. We demand justice for every single person who was hurt or traumatized. We will never forget what they did here. And I have a message to our immigrant community here in Minnesota. You are seen, heard, valued, and loved.
You add value to our state. You are part of the fabric of what is good about Minnesota. And I have to tell you, that is a hell of a lot more than I'll say about anybody in the White House. And I will add a special thank you and a special acknowledgement that we will never leave the side of our Somali Minnesotans. Here's our pledge to you. Our Somali Minnesotans, your great-grandchildren will still be here when that orange clown is in the dustbin of history. You will be here. They call us radicals. I see that the president said it's a bunch of radicals. You're damn right we've been radicalized. Radicalized by compassion. Radicalized by decency. Radicalized by due process. Radicalized by democracy. And radicalized to do all we can to oppose authoritarianism. So for those of you watching at home, welcome to the North Star State. Welcome to the land of hope and dreams. And it's my pleasure to be able to welcome somebody who has spent a lifetime giving voice to the working class, expressing our hopes and dreams, our fears, all of the things that makes us human, and has done that with a voice that resonated across generations. So I have to tell you, we're damn sure about this. We need no damn kings. But I'll tell you what I'm glad we have. We do need a boss. Please welcome Bruce Springsteen to the stage.
Hello, Minnesota. All right. Hey, it's turning into a beautiful day. Well, this past winter, federal troops brought death and terror to the streets of Minneapolis. Well, they picked the wrong city. The power and the solidarity of the people of Minneapolis and of Minnesota was an inspiration to the entire country. Your strength and your commitment told us that this is still America. And this reactionary nightmare and these invasions of American cities will not stand. You gave us hope. You gave us courage. And for those who gave their lives, Renee Good, mother of 3, brutally murdered, Alex Preddy, VA nurse, executed by ICE, shot in the back and left to die in the street without even the decency of our lawless government investigating their deaths. Their bravery, their sacrifice, and their names will not be forgotten. Their story goes against smoking. his chest. Hell, then we heard the gunshots, and Alex Pretty lay in the snow dead. Their claim was self-defense, sir. Just don't believe your eyes. It's our blood and bones and these whistles and phones against Miller and Nome's fucking lies. Well, Minneapolis, I hear your voice crying through the bloody mist. Well, remember the names of those who died on the streets of Minneapolis. They say they're here to uphold the law, but they trample on our rights. If your skin is black or brown, my friend, you'll be questioned and deported on sight. In our chance of lights out now, let me hear you. In our chance of lights out now, let me hear you. In our chance of lights out now, our city's heart and soul persists. Through broken glass and bloody tears on the streets of Minneapolis. Well, Minneapolis, I hear your voice crying through the bloody mist. Here in our home, they killed and roamed in the winter of 26. We'll take our stand for this land and the stranger in our midst. We'll remember the names of those who died on the streets of Minneapolis. We'll remember the names of those who died on the streets of Minneapolis. Thank you, Minneapolis, St. Paul. No kings, no war. Thank you, Minnesota.
Let's hear it again for the boss, Bruce Springsteen. Minnesota has inspired the world with its courage, resilience, and resolve, and that takes leadership. Please welcome 3 Minnesotans who rose to the moment. Carolina Ortiz, Malika Dahir, and your mayor, Kali Herr.
That's right, ice out now. Good afternoon, America. I am Carolina Ortiz, Associate Executive Director of COPAL and a leader with the Immigrant Defense Network. I am an immigrant, a former undocumented person, a DACA recipient, and I stand here because as a child, I learned what it means when your life can be decided by a piece of paper when your future feels uncertain. I carried fear, but I also carried something stronger, the belief that one day we would rise. And that day is today. So let me say this very clear. We are not the problem to solve. Immigrants are a blessing to this country. Say it with me. Immigrants are a blessing to this country. For too long, the story about immigrants has been written in fear. But fear is a poor storyteller because fear only knows how to divide. It cannot see who we really are. We are the hands that build. We are the hearts that care. We invest in this country even when it does not always believe in us. During Operation Metro Surge, our communities were targeted, silenced, and criminalized. Families stopped going to work, to school, because even a normal day no longer felt safe. But even in those moments, we showed up and we protected one another. And across Minnesota, we built something powerful. Together, we trained over 33,000 constitutional observers, neighbors who stood in our communities, watching, documenting, and saying if they come for one of us, they will have to face all of us. This is what courage looks like. This is what people power looks like. This is organized, collective love in action. So look around you. People choosing each other again and again, standing shoulder to shoulder, not divided by fear, but united by purpose. That is right here this right here is what democracy looks like. So today, from St. Paul, we send a message to this country and to the world. We are essential, we are organized, and we are no longer afraid. Because this moment right here is bigger than politics. This is about dignity. Because no system built on fear will ever be stronger than a community built on love. So today, I ask you, do not leave unchanged. Leave louder, leave braver, leave ready. Because power does not belong to presidents or billionaires. And it does not belong to anyone trying to rule through fear. Power belongs to the people. Power belongs to all of us.
It's the last dying gasp of a dying movement. I look at
Y ahora quiero decir algo en español a mi comunidad que está aquí presente. A cada familia que ha sentido miedo, a cada persona que ha tenido que ser fuerte incluso cuando no podíamos. Aquí nos organizamos, nos cuidamos y nos defendemos. Porque somos una comunidad de dignidad, de fuerza y de amor. Y aunque intenten dividirnos, aunque intenten silenciarnos, no podrán hacerlo. So let this moment travel across the United States, across the world, and let it be clear to every single corner of this country. We are here, we belong, and we are a blessing to this country. Thank you. Gracias.
Hello,
Minnesota!
I'm trying to get like a little bit of the wind resistance.
I greet you with the Muslim greeting of peace. Assalamu alaikum. May peace be upon you all.
You want to take a vote? Yeah, let's all right, let's do it.
I also greet you with the Somali greeting, Galapwan accent. I want to begin by grounding us in truth.
How are you doing? Love
This land is home to the indigenous peoples, the original stewards whose presence, care, and sovereignty did not begin with history books and does not end here today. We must also acknowledge our African American sisters and brothers whose ancestors were forcibly brought here through slavery and who built, shaped, and sustained this country through generations of struggle, resistance, and brilliance, and who are still waiting for justice and reparations. And then there's the rest of all of us. all of us, whether we come from Asia, the African diaspora, Latin America, North Africa, or Europe, we are all immigrants in this land.
Yeah, they did that for a lot of stuff. They did that for trans issues. Like,
Many of us are here because of movement, whether by choice, by force, or by necessity. Whether our ancestors escaped monarchies, wars, persecutions, we crossed oceans and borders in search for a better life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Naming this matters. It reminds us while our stories are different, they are deeply connected through histories of displacement, resilience, and the struggle for dignity. And now I'm going to holler a little bit at my Somali sisters and brothers.
I don't want to, but my sister.
Somalis people are people who have known hardship, war, displacement, famine, uncertainty of starting over. Many of us carry stories of loss. But alongside these stories is something just as powerful. Survival, strength, and the refusal to be erased.
He initially
because
said
even when
that he
borders
wasn't
shift,
going to do it, but then he
our
also
identity
said that
does
he
not.
actually is planning on doing it. And it's
As
weird
a Somali
because,
American,
we've been talking
we
to him and
carry the
he's been
stories of
super
thousand
excited,
sunrises over the Horn of Africa.
in the private conversations
We
that
carry
we've
the
been
strength
having,
of
like
our
my team and
mothers,
his
the
team were
resilience of
talking.
our
I don't
fathers.
know why he said that
We come from
initially,
people
but
who
yeah, I
have
think
survived
so,
war,
eventually.
displacement, and started over and over from nothing.
in the wild.
So understand this. If we have survived all of that,
Thank you.
we will survive your harsh words.
Thanks so much, man. Have a good one. They're at 41st and 7th right now, the DSA group.
Yeah, we'll just walk. We don't have to be with them. I wanted to link up with Andrew, but he left already anyway, so it doesn't matter.
While
Okay.
teaching our children
Hi.
our own
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
We contribute to the places that we arrive in with our labor, our culture, our ideas, and our family spirits. We stand as proof that identity can survive distance, that culture can survive disruption, and that people can rise again and again under the warmth of other suns and the cold
at least there's someone,
Minnesota winter.
someone out there, you know.
Your streams literally every time I have like a I go
we
through
ask
like a
is
doomer
simple.
crisis, your streams
The
literally
right to
bring me
hold
like
on to who
comfort.
we are.
I really appreciate everything.
While
that you
becoming
do.
a part of where
Can we take a picture?
Yeah, of course.
the right to belong without having to erase ourselves.
Thank you.
Because when immigrants thrive, our communities grow richer, not just economically,
Thank you so much.
but
Thank you.
culturally,
No,
socially,
we should start
and
moving
morally.
with the crowd, I think. I don't know what this group is, but... All right, let's go. Keep up the great
Over
work.
the last few months, Minnesotans have shown up in record numbers to protect one another. We showed the nations that our differences are our special sauce.
Other way around.
Our neighbor's dignity cannot be tied to where you were born. We showed the nation that it is tied to our humanity.
My friend Jovinetta as
Today
well.
we stand at a moment in history
Thanks for
that
covering.
demands more than reflection. It demands action. Across the world and here at home, we are witnessing rising tensions and rising gas prices. We see policies that reshape who belongs and who is protected.
I'm from
We are seeing
Democratic
our
Socialists of
authorities
America.
tested, expanded,
We'll walk 'cause I have to go
and
catch up with the rest
sometimes
of the DSA
concentrated in
contingent.
ways that call
We're
for
stumbling all over the
vigilance.
place here.
This
But,
is not a moment
yeah,
for
I just wanted
silence.
to give a
It's
shout
a
out to
moment for
YDSA
clarity.
if you are a bunch
And
of
let
college
us be
students.
clear.
Because I know, listen,
No
I've been in West
throne,
Lobbyhead for years. I
no
know a lot of y'all are in
crowns,
college, a lot of
and
y'all in
no
high school too.
kings.
Really good opportunity to start getting organized at your colleges and your high schools. These are really strong places for you all to
So
start getting people
America,
politically involved because we
Minnesota,
all feel it day to day
what
at
do
our
we do
colleges,
after
but
this
also
moment?
we do have
That
some campaigns
is
we're
what
focusing on
counts.
right now, especially with
We
sanctuary
must
city
act with
campaigns,
urgency.
because that's
We
really
must
what
widen
a lot
the
of the
circle.
moment is.
Bring
So
more
I just want to
voices
give a
to
shout
the
out to
table.
that.
Invite more
Join
communities
YDSA,
into the conversation.
and if you're in New York City,
Look around.
shout out New York
Who
City
is
DSA.
missing?
Go to
Bring them
that
into the
Say it again?
circle.
And yeah.
Say that URL again.
We attend community meetings. We contact our elected officials. We advocate for policies that protect immigrants, refugees, and all marginalized communities. For policies that allow us to put food on the table and a roof over our heads.
It'll be really easy to find your local chapter. And if you can't find your chapter,
we organize, we participate, and we show up. In Minnesota, we show the country that that is what we do.
We are one of the fastest growing socialist groups in the country. Join YPSA.
So let's continue to show up. Not just today, not in this moment of crisis, but consistently, ongoing,
is LA like a
relentlessly
lot warmer
in
than
our
this? I've never
commitment
been
to
outside the
justice
metro area,
and
except for
inclusion.
Chicago.
It's like 70
Roll up
degrees
our
right now and
sleeves
sunny. It's beautiful.
and get to work
That's the only thing that's like
towards
holding me back
meaningful
from moving out
and
here. Well,
systemic
that and also
change.
my entire business, I guess. Like all the stuff that I do is out there.
Yeah, no, real. I keep saying this joke.
Hi,
that,
everyone.
Oh, global warming isn't real because it's climate change. But like seriously, it is so much colder. Well, the summers are so much hotter in New York City. I've never experienced it.
I want to welcome everyone in St. Paul here, communities across Minnesota, and all across the nation. As the mayor of our beautiful capital city, I welcome you.
Tropical country is colder than this place.
Today we stand up to declare that 250 years later, that this is a land without a ruler, and we are a people without a king.
This is the movie.
Donald Trump tried to make an example of Minnesota.
What I think of the
Get in
vibe?
Trump's way, and he will do to
it's
you
nice. I
what
think it's interesting.
do to you and your community what he did to our beloved Twin Cities. But I tell you, do not be
I think it tells you
afraid.
how many people just want
Trump
to do
and Kristi
anything,
Noem
anything at all
illegally
that,
sent
like,
thousands
lifts a middle
of masked,
finger,
unaccountable agents
No,
to
it's
occupy our
definitely.
streets for months. And like
I
so
think it
many
would
of
be-
Donald Trump's other ventures,
I think like
he failed.
issue-specific movements are a little bit better, but this kind of stuff
We
is also
delivered
good.
groceries
I
to
think-
neighbors, raised funds, protested, and stood vigilant so that our children could go to school without fear of abduction. Because of our solidarity, Minnesota became the model of resistance for the country.
What's up? You want to take a photo? Yeah, let's do
My
it.
grandfather fought in the secret war for America, a country he had never set foot in, because he believed in democracy and freedom. My family fled this war as refugees to bring their children to a country where they would be free from tyranny and oppression. They could never imagine their children would end up living in an occupied city, too afraid to open their blinds and leave their homes.
Yeah.
In a big
The
line.
occupation our community experienced is not who we are or should be as a country.
Making a protest
I
cardboard
shouldn't.
sign.
Yeah,
You
about how,
shouldn't.
like, Donald Trump is a
Your
pedophile
children
or something.
should
It is-
not
the-
have to carry around their
yeah,
passports in
it's
fear of
Read the
unlawful
documents.
detention.
It is like kind of crazy how quickly that one
Yeah,
took
like,
over.
see, like that's
We are
why
not defined
some
by the
people feel like
tragedy we
elitist about it, 'cause, like,
experience,
Epstein class
but
doesn't
by
actually
how we
fully understand
respond
the
to
scope.
it.
Yeah.
Donald
It's
Trump,
capitalist class.
your actions speak for who
not the
you
best
are,
looking shot,
and the
but
chaos
it's the
of your
only shot that's
lawless
got me in the
agents
past
is
5
yours
minutes,
to bear. St. Paul and Minneapolis have shown that strength comes from the people,
Castle, man.
not
I
from
need
a
30
king.
from you today. Oh, what a bad pass from Castle.
The lessons we learned,
Might be
the
coming
unity
back
we
here
built,
with a
the
2-0
communities we
possession
created
to
during this
start off the
crisis
timeout.
will
I mean, out of
endure.
the timeout.
We know who our neighbors
We
are,
go here, Bucks.
and we will
We get
always
another
stand
stop.
with them in power and in love.
Oh my goodness, but they just
As
keep
mayor
leaving
of
us
St.
3
Paul, I want to
open.
thank our partners in the state. Governor Walz, Lieutenant Governor Flanagan, Attorney General Keith Ellison,
What a
my
shot
partner
from
across the
Spurs.
river, Mayor Fry,
50 player here.
our neighboring cities and
Light boy
communities,
from 3.
the Minnesota
Rare
ACLU,
miss.
Twin Cities
Oh my
Indivisible,
goodness, like,
and most
oh
of all,
my goodness, man.
I am grateful to all of you who stand with me when I say, no kings! Thank you!
What in the world was that? It's just, man,
People
it's just
across
like they're
the
just
Twin
jumping
Cities have
around on
stepped
that
up
court.
over many months to
Bucks have
protect
no
their
game
neighbors
plan.
and
They're
push
just
back
tossing the ball
against
around.
authoritarianism. Now it's time for the world to hear their stories. Give a
Oh,
warm,
2K26
no
locker
kings
code,
welcome
guys.
to
Let me know if y'all get
Flannery
that.
Clark, Nick Benson, Natalie Errett, and Nakima Levy-Armstrong.
Ooh, sour. Deep 2 from the Bucks. Cream City.
Man, does that say 61 to 35?
Yeah,
Hello, Minnesota.
This is like embarrassing for the Bucks.
Hello,
Oh
I'm
my
Nick Benson.
goodness.
Wow. I like airplanes, and I'm a plaid-clad working dad.
This is like...
Most importantly, I'm a Minnesotan.
Bucks got 0 defense.
6 months
This is
ago,
crazy,
I was
man.
chatting with a fellow
Oh
aviation
my, like,
geek,
it's just
Seth Miller.
53 to 35.
He's an outspoken
It's
critic
just
of
bad
ICE deportation
basketball
flights.
here, man.
I said, Seth, I really admire your courage. I wish I could do that.
Who's that?
He replied,
Anybody in the chat
it's
from
not
Cream
that
City,
hard.
Cream City
You just
people in
have
the
to
chat.
do
Let
it.
me hear it.
Now I'm
Cream
here.
City, let me hear it.
Volunteering with Minnesota 5051. We count every person being loaded on ICE flights at MSP. There were 19 yesterday.
People in the chat from Cream City.
Wimby.
We revealed that Delta Airlines is flying Minnesota kids to concentration camps.
Jason, you sick? You got the sniffles?
Seth told me it's not going to be that hard. But truthfully, it's been a struggle, hasn't it?
No, every time I go to New York,
We've been remembering Victor Manuel Diaz, Renee Good,
So at this point, do you sit Wemby
Alex
down so you
Preddy.
just don't risk any sort of injury from him?
We've been thinking about our neighbors who've been stuck at
honestly,
home, unable to
if you
go
Oh,
wanna
to
see a
school,
show, man,
work,
Wemby,
or the
that's the
doctor.
magic show.
We've been thinking about the
Naturally.
kids who are not sure if mom or dad will be home tonight for bedtime snuggles. The students who are not sure if their friend with a cute hat will ever get to play with them ever again.
A W.
We've knelt in apartment hallways, Spanish over speakerphone,
Okay, that makes sense.
explaining that we were there to help.
Wemby, they're saying Luka.
We've woken up full of rage
Wemby for MVP.
after a nightmare, discovering ICE agents lurking in another place that used to be safe.
Nah.
It wasn't easy, but we had to do it.
Script for the NBA. Look at the
But
ball
what if
movement
Metro
from the Bucks.
Surge
And just
wasn't
look at
the
look
end?
at the offensive rebound.
What if it was
Oh,
just
my
the
goodness.
beginning?
Kind of
What if the upcoming year is worse than the year before?
Oh, what a spin move!
Silent businesses, complicit institutions, and cowardly politicians keep failing us, but you don't have to.
Finally,
My fellow Minnesotans, I'm giving each one of you here today explicit permission to act with courage.
I'm gonna be honest, bro.
It's not that hard.
I don't
You
recognize a
just
single
have
player
to
on the
do
Bucks
it.
squad, do you? Oh, they got a bunch of plumbers on the squad today.
Be the neighbor that Mr. Rogers knew you could be. Be a helper. When the government fails to meet our needs, we meet them ourselves.
Bunch of plumbers.
We feed each other, clothe each other, and care for each other. We keep us safe.
Let's go.
So when others are silent, speak up. Stand up for health
Oh
care,
my goodness, long
education,
three.
child care, and housing. No Kings is a great start, but we also need to be done with cowards.
Okay.
When I say no Kings, you say no cowards. No Kings. No Kings.
Jason, you hear that?
I'm hearing that.
I love you, Minnesota. Fuck ICE.
Double edition, you ever played that?
No. I did play 2K. No.
I mean, yeah, but everybody's played 2K though.
What is this? Coming up at the half. Look at Dirt Nowitzki, Mavs legend right there.
They put my babies right in front. That's not fair.
My goat Dirk Nowitzki.
I probably
with that.
should have prepared more for this. This is so outside of my
Legend,
comfort
bro.
zone. That's part of the intention. That's what Haven Hodge
Let's
did.
see, 4 seconds on the clock to the half. Let's see the Bucks
Faced
score here.
with injustice.
Chat, anybody in the chat ever played? Oh, hold on, 4 seconds.
It
That's
wasn't
like, hold on.
organized or well rehearsed.
Oh.
We didn't know what to do until we were already doing
And
it.
halftime.
We just
Already
acted.
That's the
halftime,
half, 67 or 45. That's
Haven
the half
Hodge
right
began
there.
on January
And it's not over to the
12th
soul.
when I took my 11
So any Bucks
and 21-year-old
chat, you know what I'm
sons
saying?
to the
Hang
Whipple
on.
Federal Building,
You just never know.
where people
You
were
just never
being
know.
released from
You know what I'm saying?
detention.
They're spamming
I took
67
them
in
to
the
see the
chat.
protests
you know what I'm
there
saying?
and to learn how to use their voices
Would've
and their
scored a half,
bodies
man.
to
Would've
stand
scored a
up.
half.
At one
It's a lot.
point, my
It's a lot. Well,
21-year-old son
45,
went off on
55,
his own and
65.
called from his phone shortly
65.
after.
So we're looking at what?
He told me he had found two girls
22
wandering in the
point
cold, freezing,
lead. I can't say blowout yet,
without
right?
phones.
Can I say
and
blowout?
he
Is it
had
okay
them
to
in
say
our
blowout?
car.
I mean, not
Giving
yet,
them
not
food
yet.
and
We're gonna have to see
water
the second
and
half.
letting
I've
them use
seen
his phone
magical
to call
games. I mean,
home.
Tracy McGrady scored 13
My
points
son
in
Jack
6 seconds.
did
So
that night
you
what
never know,
Haven
man.
has
Okay.
done
Jason,
every
Jason,
day
that's
and
true.
night
That's
since
true.
then.
Jason, at what point is it considered a blowout though? Like, is it 20 plus? Is it 25 plus? Is it 30 plus? What makes it a blowout?
Definitely.
If
gonna have to say
anyone
it,
was
yeah,
gonna be the
25
spark
plus.
that started
25 plus is a
Haven Watch,
blowout,
it was
in-
him.
In my opinion.
3 years
30
ago,
30 is a
Jack was
super
diagnosed
blowout.
with brain cancer his senior year of high school.
Super blowout.
And he
Wow.
went
Yo,
through
quick
more
thank you
in
to our
that year
wonderful
than many
sponsor,
of us
Intuit
will in a
TurboTax.
lifetime, and
Save
nearly
time
died more
by
than
using
once.
a TurboTax
He's always been
full-service
kind,
expert
but
to
that
file for you.
experience
I know my
changed
TurboTax
him.
expert takes
He
tax.
understands now what most of us don't. How short life can be and how important true human connection and kindness is.
Kachi Reed. Wait, is it Kachi or Russell?
Well, I don't wish
Who's
his
Russell?
forced
Why did
perspective
you say
on
Russell
any of
Reed?
you. I think we can learn
I
from
wasn't
it.
like his Russell.
Don't walk past suffering. Act.
TurboTax
when it's
expert
not
today
easy.
and get every dollar that you deserve. All right, chat. So just
Wow.
know TurboTax is what you need to do, okay?
that's what
so
he
listen,
did,
it's Turbo
and
Time.
that's what
It's presented
Minnesota
by
did,
Intuit
and that's
TurboTax.
what
Once again,
our
that's a fact.
incredible
We're gonna play a
volunteers
couple different games.
did.
First of which being Turbo Trivia.
They
have
paused
interesting
their
tax
lives,
trivia questions, and you
mostly
get to type in
strangers,
the
and
chat
showed
what you
up
think the
to
correct
stand and
answer
watch
is.
at a game.
Okay, so question number one. Okay, chat,
Minnesotans
we're playing
acted
trivia.
on
Okay,
behalf of
question
each other
number one.
without a plan or regard
Okay, you
for
wanna
their
read it
own
off, Jason?
safety or comfort.
If you take
or
a hot
even
air balloon
lives.
ride to Kansas,
We
in
acted
Kansas,
for each other, and
you
that's
pay an
something we
additional
should
tax
expect
if you are
from
tethered to
ourselves
the
every
ground.
day.
True or false?
There's nothing extraordinary about
Oh, if you
me
take a hot air balloon
or
ride.
Haven Watch. Sorry, guys.
This is an interesting one,
additional
to be
tax?
honest.
And I mean that the best way
ground.
possible because it
That's-
means
that sounds
what
like-
we did is something
I'm gonna be
anyone
honest.
can
I don't even
Don't
know
know-
this one. Fana, what do
Notice
you think?
the small
I think I'm
everyday
leaning towards
opportunities
true
to show
here.
kindness that are so easy to ignore
That
and
sounds
don't
absurd. I don't.
ignore them.
I'm gonna just go. I'm gonna go false. You go true.
While
I go
ICE's
false.
presence
Let's see
in
what happens.
Minnesota may
Let's see
be
what
less
happens. True.
visible,
That's
the
one for
struggles
me.
of many in our immigrant
Wow, look at
communities
that.
are
True.
no less
If you are
real.
tethered to, if
Their
you are
need
tethered
for
to the
continued
ground,
support and
you are
care
subject to
is real.
amusement tax.
It doesn't
We got an
stop
amusement
when the
tax, chat.
attention
Listen, look at
fades,
that.
and it
Fun
requires
facts
us to
with
keep
TurboTax.
showing up.
Wow.
Wow.
The only
Professional
reason
athletes
I
are only
did
taxed
this
in the
and I'm
state
up
they live in.
here
True or
incredibly
false?
nervous and
Professional athletes are
uncomfortable
only taxed in the state that they
is
live
because
in.
I hope
Gonna have to
Chat,
go
true
with
or
false.
false?
people here
Gonna have to go
can
with false
see
there,
themselves
okay?
in what we
Yeah, I think they're
did
taxed wherever
and
they
say,
play, right?
Yes,
Is it not
I
like
could
that?
do that.
I think so. I think so.
I'm going false too. I'm going false.
False.
What happens? Look at that.
I-
False. Athletes are
I
taxed
could
on
bring
all the
two
states that they
people
play at.
who are
Yeah, they practice and etc. This is
into
known as
my
the job
car
tax. So
and
that's
let
it's
them
called. It has a
use
name,
my
chat.
phone.
You feel me?
Yep. Yep.
All right.
And
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
bagels are taxed differently in New York State.
And uncut bagels are taxed differently in New York State. I'm from New York City, chat. I never heard of that.
Yeah,
How y'all doing
you're from
out
New York. You
there?
should know this one, no?
No, I should not know this. You know what I'm saying? This is why I like to get advice from.
I'm
my TurboTax
Nikema
experts.
Levy
Hold on.
Armstrong,
Uncut bagels
civil rights
are
attorney,
taxed differently in New York State.
activist,
Chat, I'm just gonna go with
and
you know
someone
what?
standing firmly
Let's go
against
for it.
authoritarianism, tyranny, and fascism of the
I think they're
Trump
trying to confuse me, but no, I'm gonna go for it.
administration.
Wow, it's true. Look at that.
Wow. That's a crazy. That's
that.
weird.
Uncut
They
bagels
tried to
are taxed.
underestimate
Hot
the
bagels
people
are
across
taxed
the
as
state
they are
of
considered as being
Minnesota.
prepared for
But we
consumption.
showed them,
Get that.
hell
You learn something
no,
new every
we
day.
won't
Fun facts
go.
with TurboTax.
I'm learning a lot actually today.
All right,
That
chat,
will
time for game
continue
number 2.
standing up
Oh,
for the
sorry.
rights of our immigrant brothers
you.
and sisters.
Protection?
That we're standing up for those who are being ignored, those
Yep,
who are
you-
being
yes, sir.
treated as
Yes,
if their
sir.
lives
Chat.
are disposable, and who
All
are
right, chat,
being
time
treated
for
as if
game
their
two.
lives
lives
Turbo
don't
talk.
matter.
You just got
But
your
we
tax
have to
refund and you want to
remember
go on a nice vacation.
that this struggle
Where
did
are
not
you going?
start
Let us know in the
with
chat
Donald
right
Trump
now.
taking
Me
office
personally,
again.
I'm going
It started
to,
with our
I'm going to Japan.
indigenous brothers and
Japan?
sisters
Mhm.
standing up for their land, for their people,
undisclosed location,
their dignity, their traditions.
Respectfully, Japan is top tier. Chat. Where would y'all go? Somebody said Miami turning up another notch.
And I'm here standing on the shoulders of the black women
I was just in Miami.
and the
I was just in
black
Miami,
men
actually.
and children who came before me.
I'm not the biggest fan of Miami.
Harriet Tubman.
What?
Yeah,
Rosa
I'm not, I don't
Parks.
know. Not my vibe.
Fannie Lou
but
Hamer.
Maybe I went like a
Sojourner Truth.
Because
Now, who you went with? Who you went with?
I went
And
with
so
all the bros.
many
I went
others
with all the
who
bros.
stood up for freedom, justice, and equality. We cannot
You gotta take
forget
me to the
about
spots, bro.
the
I was
struggle
walking
of
down,
those
Ocean
women
Drive,
who
and there was
organize
nothing.
in our
What the heck?
communities, who taught
Ocean
us that
Drive,
we
Chad.
matter.
Chad,
And
Chad,
when
where would
they
you go,
fought,
Chad? Where
we
would you
all
go?
win.
The Bronx. Okay.
Hey.
I want to lift up one of my comrades, Monique Colors Doty, co-founder of Black Lives Matter Minnesota.
Which is how are they supposed to vote? Or they're just gonna vote.
Also, co-founder along with myself and Jaylani Hussein of the National Target Boycott.
Bro, Japan is so hard.
Now Japan is amazing.
The National Target Boycott started right here in Minnesota, where Target is headquartered.
Japan, the food.
Yeah, I'm gonna put hashtag Jason in the chat too. I'm just being honest.
Who shot that Target before we saw Target capitulate to Donald Trump and align itself with authoritarianism.
With the big 25.
We decided that it was time to hold a hometown company accountable for their actions.
No lag, bro. No lag. Barely.
When they decided to roll back diversity, equity, and inclusion, we the people decided to roll back our dollars and shop elsewhere.
I feel like I'm missing something.
I don't care what mega pastors they send from Atlanta or the Two Stooges with them. The Target boycott continues.
Oh, that smells good.
I also want to lift up the more than 200 Minnesotans who are currently facing state and federal charges for standing up against the Trump administration. We are calling on our state and county elected officials to drop the damn charges.
And we can probably find a little cafe where you can warm your hands.
These people put their lives, bodies, and livelihoods on the line for our freedom and the freedoms of people across this country. Myself, along with Monique and other black women, are also co-organizers of the city's church protests that took place on January 18th during Dr. King weekend. There are 39 of us right now, the righteous 39, who are being charged by the Trump administration for standing up for freedom, justice, and equality.
Parents to start watching as well.
We need to stand behind those of us who are calling out ICE,
and we were walking,
fascism, tyranny, and authoritarianism on behalf of the people, standing up for our immigrant neighbors, standing up for Renee Good, standing up for Alex Preddy, and calling for justice.
I mean, I don't think people would really dig the Mormon Hassan Piker Act, but like, I mean, if you're about that.
I think I just cursed too much. That's what
I just want to say to the people of Minnesota.
That's my problem.
It's one of your problems.
Stood up.
Yeah, I got many other
problems. You
I got
put your
many
bodies
other
on the line.
problems.
You spoke the truth, and you let them know we're not stepping back. We're not afraid. We will continue to rise up
Nice to meet you. Keep up the good
for
work.
the people
Thank you for being
of
here,
this
man.
country,
Awesome. It's crazy
for
out
our
here.
immigrant
Yeah.
neighbors, and for the future of our democracy. All power to the people!
Yeah, it looks like it's starting to bunch up.
My name is Flannery Clark. I'm from the south side of Minneapolis.
And then we'll get into a car.
Yeah.
And for 117 days and counting, I've been wearing this whistle around my neck. I have no plans to stop anytime soon.
All right. Let's
I'm
hit
here
the sidewalk
representing
over.
tens of thousands of ordinary Minnesotans who, when faced with masked and armed ICE thugs abducting our neighbors, said, "Not here, not now, not ever." Since December 4th, armed with whistles, phones, and our deep love for our neighbors, my community and I have built systems of protection in nearly every neighborhood of our
You're a
city.
fucking giant. Like, maybe
We did
you will,
this
like,
to
slide
ensure our
through it.
neighbors would not be abducted and
Whereas
disappeared
me,
into
I'm
DHS
infamously
prisons.
light as a feather.
We did this
But
to keep families together.
The thing that I'm
We
always
did this because
scared
we
of is that, like, my
knew even
AirPods
if we could
work.
not
Actually, you know what I
stop
feel that
every
way
act
about?
of
When
terror,
you're boarding
the
a plane,
least we could do was bear
like,
witness.
that there's like that 2
We
inches.
built neighborhood alert networks that are so
I'm never like
effective
afraid of
that
that
at
on
the
the
height of the
subway, whatever, real
occupation,
New
our
York, blah, blah,
response
blah.
time to
But
an ICE
when I'm
sighting in
boarding a
South
fucking plane,
Minneapolis
bro,
was
that's
less
not
than
how I
2
feel.
No, I
minutes.
feel you. I have that exact same fear.
Networks
Yeah,
so
this is
strong,
supposed to
in
be
fact,
kind of the end
that
of
we
the,
retired Greg
protest
Bovino.
line too, because like that's where the Palestinian flags are. Apparently, they put the Palestine
And we
ones in the
cost
back.
Kristi Noem her job.
All right, let's
Simultaneously, we
call it.
created a mutual
Yeah, let's
aid
do it. Let's get over
infrastructure
one, though.
that has
It'll be a
paid
little
over
annoying
$10
for me
million
to get here.
in rent, taken thousands of kids to and from school,
might wanna walk all
and
the way
delivered
down.
meals for countless
Yeah,
families.
I agree. Look at it. Look at the fucking mess over here.
There were thousands
see
of us
they're
in the streets in
blockaded,
early
though.
December,
Yeah.
and after our neighbor Renee Good was murdered by ICE on January 7th, there were tens of thousands. We know what happened to
Over here,
Renee
this
and
is cold.
Alex
It's kind of
because of
fucking
the
cold,
observers
dude.
and responders
Like, you know, it's a
who
very
filmed
kind
state
gift from that
violence
guy.
at great risk
I
to
really mean it, but
themselves.
it's really funny.
We mourn for every neighbor abducted, every neighbor sent to a camp,
There's some
and
other
families
stuff.
torn apart.
It's a big pocket.
And we will never know
Perfect.
how many families were kept
And
together safely in their homes
Well, it's just like
because of the
Yeah.
courageous actions of our
That's why I gave it
neighbors.
to you.
How many were warned with a whistle, or a signal chat, or a patroller on the corner? The rapid responders of Minnesota are heroes, but they are also ordinary people. These neighbors of mine, these absolute heroes, were tear gassed, harassed, and came right back in the streets. Heroes who unfailingly blew a whistle every time they saw an ICE agent, who
May
reported
not be the
every
worst
abduction,
idea.
so no
we
neighbor would
tried to
disappear in
do for it.
darkness.
No.
May not be the
Heroes
worst
who
idea.
understand that it's our moral imperative to stand up,
I mean,
even when
listen,
it's
bro.
I can go
scary,
hands-free.
even when we are
It's crazy.
terrified,
It's,
even
hey,
when
we
guns
can
are
rig
pointed
it.
at
We
us.
got a little strap. We can figure
I am
it out.
representing tens of thousands of
Do you
people
know how to
whose
ride a bike?
names you will never know. I'm
Well,
not
I
here to
used to
take credit for them. But I
in the right
am
place at
here
the
to
right
tell
time, which is
you
a beautiful thing.
that
and
your
so that- but
neighbors are
a lot
heroes.
of it is the right coaching, the right pieces around me, the right people. But
They are heroes in
putting the work
thousands
in
of different
and being
ways,
prepared
most
from
of
when
which
the
we
moment
will
came.
never know.
But I also
I've
said I
never
believe in
been
God,
so
God put me in
proud
the
to
right,
be from
everything happens
Minnesota.
for a reason.
I am
Amen.
so
in my
proud
book.
to have
So
seen
I
us
believe in
step
God,
up
and I think He's
and
put me in
become
some
the
good
community
positions
we have
and given me
always
some good
needed
opportunities.
to
So
build the world that we know we won't ever stop fighting for.
When Silky's there, Silky will be living there. Jason, the only person not living at that house is going to be Ron. And Marley.
And now,
All right, as
No
we close,
Kings is.
I'm gonna do one quick chant. Who keeps us safe? Who keeps us safe? Who keeps us
You're
safe?
my mod. Of course you're not going to be
Who
living there.
keeps us safe? All power
How
to the
often
people.
are you going to be in LA? I mean, I personally, I can't speak for Silky. I'm going to be
And
in LA
now,
75%
No
of the
Kings
time.
is proud to welcome to the stage Senator Bernie Sanders.
Trying to hate farm Ron because he wants to do his own thing is crazy. Oh my God, I can't even talk. I can't even speak. I can't even speak, bro. What did you even say?
There are a lot of people here.
Apparently I hate farm. This is what JD does instead of mine.
Thank you, Minnesota. And let me thank Indivisible,
Wait, this is
Move
JD?
On, 5051,
Nueve,
and
uno,
all
cuatro,
of the
cinco, cuatro, cuatro.
organizations that have made this great event possible. And thanks to the millions of Americans from our smallest towns to our largest cities in every state in our country who are gathering today at thousands of rallies.
Why is there a 2-minute video of someone doing construction work?
It is absolutely appropriate
that
we hold a major No Kings rally right here in the St. Paul, Minneapolis area.
I spelled Iowa wrong on my IG story.
When historians write about this dangerous moment in American history, when they write about courage and sacrifice, the people of Minnesota will deserve a special chapter for themselves.
Sketch!
In the face of unprecedented occupation of this city by ICE, Trump's domestic army, this community stood up and with extraordinary solidarity fought back and won.
What do you mean?
Minnesota showed the American people and in fact the world what democracy is about.
And guess what? Drew is 20.
Activism is about.
It's mad at you, and then it's also like. I mean, I guess it was tomorrow's news today in the sense that this week more than most, considering that literally everything you did then became news the next day.
Well, yeah. That's not even what I mean. I mean, like, I'm talking about, like, all of the, I mean, this has been an ongoing thing since October 7th, but, like, we'll talk about something, we'll cover it, and then Al Jazeera will cover it, like, maybe a couple days after, and then New York Times will maybe cover it 3 months after. You know what I mean? Like, that's where I initially started saying that. But even with, like, the Iran stuff, where the media's been a lot faster in response, because it's like, it's not a non-state actor, and I do think
details. Yeah. But he's still a big-ass kid, end of the day. Like, he loves to play around, he loves to...
Their sacrifice has inspired and will continue to inspire the American people in the never-ending struggle for justice.
I quit alcohol.
As all of you know,
no, I didn't.
We are living in an
Chad, did I drink anything yesterday?
And dangerous
did I drink anything yesterday?
In American history. In many ways, the future of our country, and in fact the entire world, is hanging in the balance. And the actions that we take now will determine what the future
wait a minute.
looks like.
You're 2 minutes away.
The choices that we face are clear.
Wait, so you're about to be here?
In the wealthiest country in the
Sketch,
history of the
pull
world.
Up, okay? Pull up. I gotta do something real
At
quick.
a time of massive breakthroughs in technology, we now have the opportunity to create a nation in which all people can enjoy a dignified standard of living, where we wipe out bigotry and hatred, and where all of us can live in peace and participate in a vibrant democracy.
Sketch, I got a question. Sketch, I got a question. Sketch, have you started drinking? Have you drank already?
Where the foundation of our nation is built on love, compassion, human solidarity, and an understanding. As your great former senator, the late Paul Wellstone, said, we all do better when we all do better.
Yes. Okay, Sketch is on his way, chat. Before Sketch gets here, you guys already know what time it is. You guys already know what time it is.
That is one vision for the future, a vision that, in my view, the vast majority of the American people share.
Coming for everything.
But there is another vision out there as well.
I'm keeping it simple today.
I'm
an addict. Yes, I'm an addict. Cool, bro. I don't care.
It is a vision
I'm
which
keeping it simple
says
today.
that we must give up
I think
on democracy, that we are too stupid and
Straight up.
inept
But
to
I'm gonna
govern
be safe,
ourselves.
and I'm going to bet the spread, Iowa plus 7.5.
And that we must put more and more power
6,000.
into the hands of one man.
6,000 on it. Markovich over on
It
points.
is a vision
But this is when you
that
guys,
says
this is when
we
you
should
guys
accept
start
an economy
steering me in the wrong
which
direction.
a handful of
You start
oligarchs
steering me in the wrong
have
direction.
unbelievable wealth,
And this is
while
when I start
the
to
vast
lose.
majority of our people
Bet the under.
struggle
No,
to put food
stop.
on
Watch
the table.
this. I'm doing $6,000. Iowa plus 7.5.
It is a vision that says that the only thing
I'm not letting you guys do
that
this
matters in life is the accumulation of money and power.
And then I'll do a small.
And that it is okay
I'll do
if we lie,
I'll do a smaller
cheat,
parlay.
and steal
I'll do
to achieve
Bennett
those
Sturts
goals.
over 14.5.
It is a vision which
Mirakovic, I'll do
says that
over
we must hate
11.5.
each other because of where we were born.
And I'll do
Hate each
Iowa
other because
plus
of a
6.5.
different language that someone speaks.
And I'll do a nice little 1,000 on it.
Hate each other because of the differences in the color of our skin.
Arizona money line as well.
Or our
Oh my
religion,
God! Yo,
or our
you guys are
sexual
horrible
orientation.
influences. Do you even know? I don't even know who Arizona
It is a
is.
vision
Are
that
they even good?
foments hatred and hatred and hatred, division, division, and division. It is an Orwellian vision which says that we must live in a constant state of fear, that we must always have an enemy, and that we must always be at war.
Iowa plus 7.5. Bang.
It is a vision which says that we have unlimited amounts of money for bombs and guns and killing, but never enough money to feed our children, provide affordable housing, or enable our parents
They're half
to
gone.
retire with dignity.
Thunder. Okay, so sketch.
Today, here in Minnesota, in Vermont, and in every state in the country, we say loudly and proudly that as Americans, we will never forsake our heritage. We will never accept authoritarianism. We will never accept oligarchy. And we will never accept a president who is a pathological liar, a kleptocrat, and a narcissist who is undermining the Constitution of the United States and the rule of law every
All right,
day.
chat. I'm gonna tell you straight up, sketch. I know we're going bar hopping. I know we're going.
We will never accept government policy that gives massive tax breaks to billionaires,
We'll decide that decision.
throws 15 million Americans off the health care they have,
I know, sketch, but here's the thing: is my chat.
breaks unions,
I don't drink alcohol. Okay?
denies women the right to control their own bodies,
I'll have a drink here and there.
and is pushing the planet closer and closer to a climate crisis.
Drew, is he being serious? Is this
In the last year, I must confess, I've been thinking a lot about American history, about the men and women in 1776
We're going to a
who,
bar
with
right now.
unbelievable courage,
Yes, and I can have
announced
fun with-
to
I
the
can have
world
non-alcoholic
that they would no
beverages.
longer be ruled by the King of England, who had absolute power over their lives. These patriots demanded freedom, and they fought a bloody revolutionary war against the most powerful military in the world to achieve that freedom. And they won.
Actually, they gave me this one too. You got a care package from Veterans?
Yeah.
And after their military victory,
and you're a traitor.
They established the first democratic form of government in modern history.
So you have a gambling problem.
In 1789, they said loudly and boldly to the entire world,
a fiction.
here in this new nation of America, we don't want kings.
Drug problem, also a lie. But gambling problem, I do definitely have a gambling problem.
How can you read that?
And let us never forget the extraordinary and powerful words they left to us. Quote, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal as they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness."
Yes, that's why we need to get to the bar.
Let's go to the bar right now. Let's go. I'm ready. Drew! Drew! Say it.
And today, in 2026, our message is exactly the
I
same.
could get some money for that one.
No more kings.
The Sean Watson type of fucking rub. What is this?
We will not allow this country to descend into authoritarianism or oligarchy. In America, we the people will rule.
Who are you rooting for today?
I'm doing daily fantasy sports, so I'm not rooting for anyone. But if you're rooting for Iowa, number 8.
But let us be clear. This moment is not just about one man's greed, one man's corruption.
Yeah, it is really interesting because like Slotkin was saying that.
This is about a handful
Slotkin was one of the people that was chirping at me, and then she was on Bill Maher last night.
Have taken over our
Bill Maher's the
economy,
OG 9/11 guy.
have taken over our political
He
system,
literally is.
have taken over
That is
our
absolutely
media,
true. That's pretty
order
funny
to
because he also said a
enrich
very different.
themselves
He said a far more extreme thing than you were alleged to have said.
Yes.
He said he said he made it just a completely different. Like he said it was. He said it was good.
Well, he didn't say it was good. He just said like it or hate it.
You have to.
They were brave.
Yes, they were brave.
You know what's
You have to respect their courage.
Yeah.
Which is.
Never before
I'm
in
not saying
American
that.
history has there been such extreme levels of income and wealth inequality.
Yeah, well, because before Bill Maher learned what Haktua, that's what Haktua means. Before he became that guy, he I won't say that he was the world's savviest stand-up comic, but he wasn't totally untethered from reality.
Damn. Third Way is pissed off at Matt Duss. Matt Duss said Hassan isn't driving a wedge into the party. The failed, repeatedly discredited, yet unfortunately still entrenched corporate wing of the party is. They fear the left's growing power and see Hassan as a way to make us argue amongst ourselves. We shouldn't fall for it. Matt Bennett, Third Way, Matt B. Matty B, my boy. That's what the B stands for. Leaving our bullshit smear aside, what moderate fear is that Democrats are connected to a bigot?
I'll play for my life.
And our president, Donald Trump, became over $1 billion richer himself.
I'm gonna bring.
Never before in American history have we seen a ruling
You know how people get coach tags with their purses? Mine just came with a recyclable thing, so I think it's made from recycled material from Amazon. Daddy, yes, it's $20, and look at this. It's expandable. It gets wider if I want it to.
Make sure that
Wow,
government
that's amazing.
continues to work for them and not working families.
Okay. Our driver
Meanwhile,
is here, but he's down
while
to
the
switch us.
richest people in America become much, much richer, 60% of our
I get that
people
joke because Chris Evans
here in Minnesota, in Vermont, and all over this country
I love that.
are living paycheck to paycheck, struggling to put food on the table, struggling to pay their rent and their mortgage, struggling to pay for child care and education, and struggling to put a few bucks aside for a decent retirement. In America today, tens of thousands
If I start reading my
of
chart right now, I'm not going to be locked
die
in.
every year
Yeah,
unnecessarily
it takes me a long time to
because they cannot afford to go to a doctor. And unless we change our economy,
multiple times. Information you did not know.
When I was a bit chubbier, I lost some weight. I'm more. Yeah.
So we gotta run it back.
Okay. I was going by the history. Like history says, if you play varsity, like you probably know the game. You got a little bit of game to you. You know what I'm saying? So
did you actually play varsity though, Jason?
I was varsity in the church league.
To Trump's authoritarianism.
Okay.
Does that count? Chad, does that count?
I feel like that counts.
It's varsity. Technically titled varsity.
Yeah, I mean,
the other churches?
Mostly. Yes, we would play other churches. We play other teams in the same church. It's a pretty big church.
That's fire though. Okay. I was going to be a part of a team, and I never make it because they always want to play around.
Not just the 1%.
I got the body type to be on the team. Respectfully, I could be like a, you know what I'm saying, Escalade, Street Ball. You know what I'm saying?
You got handles, man, but I can tell like you
Thank you.
bro.
You ever see, like you watch Street Ball, Danny?
Yes, some hit times here and there, definitely. And I'm a fan now, you know, the big wave now is the one-on-one stuff. So
yes.
I've been catching that, a couple of clips, couple of reels of like guys getting after each other and playing for money. It's dope, man. It's like guys are competitive, getting after each other. Like it's fun to see that they can keep it and keep it healthy. You know what I'm saying? Like, but keep some fire going, but not like let it get crazy.
Here we go. We're back into the game. 80-65.
Cream City. Anybody in the chat? Cream City, man, stand up.
That's interesting. I never knew they were called Cream City.
Yeah, I just learned that today.
Why are they called Cream City?
Because I don't know, but you know what? Somebody
because they wear cream jerseys. They just made it up.
I don't know. They do wear cream jerseys. That is true.
Quick three from the Spurs.
Yeah, right after timeout. That zone. See, get right to the middle. Kind of break zone. Castle caught in the middle.
Oh my
Somebody
goodness.
said the creamers, son.
About the war in Iraq.
Somebody said this, something crazy in the chat.
Yeah, you know the chat. One thing about the chat, unhinged.
This war.
That's one thing about the chat.
Yeah, there's always somebody on the internet going stupid, doing crazy
but yo,
stuff.
chat, shout out to TurboTax, you know what I'm saying? Into it, TurboTax. This stream is sponsored by them, you know what I'm saying? So WTurboTax in the chat. Don't forget to file your taxes with TurboTax, y'all. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to the tax.
He campaigned as a peace
Yo, MB David, don't start, please. Don't get banned in the chat already.
Here we go.
Playing that zone again.
It's just that zone is just not doing anything.
When you got a bunch of shooters and a big that you can't block, like the zone is going to be broke. Because once you get to the middle, but they even go to the middle. He faked it to the middle, not a guard. Backs up, tries to guard the middle, and the wing is wide open.
I would go man here if I was the coach. Just stripped by the Spurs.
They're just trying to slow down the game some and muck it up. So I get why they're doing it.
Oh my goodness. You think they're tanking?
No, I don't think they're tanking. They're still trying to win like games, but it's getting ugly fast. Again, that zone is just tough because they don't have the personnel to really guard them one-on-one. So they got to do something else and kind of muck up the game. So I see why Doc is doing it. He's just like trying to slow them down a little bit so that they have to think. But it's not working because they're a smart, cerebral team.
Danny, I got a random question. This is extremely random, okay? Do you like the way the uniforms are, like, in 2026? Remember back then it was big, oversized, you know what I'm saying? They had tricky ones, right? Like, what do you think?
I think the designs were more fire back in the day, but the fit is definitely better today. Like, you don't need baggy, oversized shorts. You need to be fitted so you can actually slide, run, move.
Yeah.
So the fit, the style, with the design, the old school designs, I think it was because we just have nostalgia and how
I think it is nostalgic.
It's just fire. It's like, yo, the old school Orlando jerseys, the Vancouver Grizzlies, the Raptors, the Philly jerseys, the Denver Nuggets, like those colors are fire. It's just because what we grew up on and what we watched back then, it's like, oh, nostalgia. It's like, oh, back then it was fire. And then today's jerseys are nice. They're probably a little plain, but you know,
what about the new logos? I got a lot of actualized logo. You know what I'm saying? I think the Raptors logo is pretty new, right?
They changed something, added some things to different, like you said, the Cream City thing. Like, they've added some different, mantras or whatever their little sayings are to their shirts and stuff like that. Like, this is what our city, we're this city, you know, we're the nasty boys now, Detroit.
I used to like the long shorts that pass your knee. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, that was the 90s.
Yeah, I mean, they wearing the N1, they doing the, you feel me?
That's the hip hop era, you know?
That's a fact.
Basketball hip hop was collabing during that time. We're always in alignment. Like hip hop, basketball, like sports is always in line with music.
You got a favorite artist?
I have a lot of favorite artists. I honestly have like one specific anything that I like over everything else.
Thoughts on that Yeet album?
Whose?
My bad.
I mean, that's like, it depends who you like the most. Like, who you listen to the most right now?
I mean, Cole dropped the album, was dope. I always like Cole.
Yeah, Cole.
I'm actually randomly enough, I like Baby Keem. Baby Keem is
Baby Keem is tough.
Ooh, you're champion. You heard that new Ye or no?
I haven't heard the new Ye yet.
What a move!
Ye just dropped.
Nasty.
Yeah, he did drop
nasty. So I gotta get that. But yeah, as I get older, man, I'm a fan of more of the R&B stuff. You know what I'm saying? So like, Fayez dropped some.
Brent Fayez, shout out Brent Fayez.
I love Brent Fayez.
I was a big Weeknd fan.
So do you like old R&B too? Because
I make R&B music.
Absolutely. Classics, right? That's a fact.
I like all I mean, I started dabbling in other types of music too that I appreciate now that I didn't when I was a kid. But like, so when I listen to like real rap or hip hop, it's like when I'm working out. Like I gotta be in the mood for it. Any other time I'm chilling, saying listen to some laid back stuff, whether it's old R&B or new R&B. But yeah, man, I said I was a big Drake fan. I like Drake a lot.
Shout out Drake,
man. Can't go wrong with Drake.
Drake is tough. Yo, you know what's a crazy
Jay-Z,
genre?
Of course. Jay-Z's my favorite artist, probably. Jay-Z's the best artist of all time. But I like a lot of
that's that old head music.
What you mean old head music? Jason, hold on.
Jay for the New York Young too. He coming back.
I mean, listen, me personally, Too Slimy, he on the come up. Ever heard him, Danny?
Nah.
Too Slimy?
Gotta tap in. Hey, Phantom, you gotta tap in, bro.
I know about Too Slimy.
Who's that? Who's Too Slimy?
Just Spotify, Too Slimy. Just check him out.
Now you gotta try.
I tap in with the new music here and there.
Yeah, but you know, you like what you like. I'm saying Hov is tough, though. Hov is tough, though.
You know, I like the mix, too. Like the mix, like you know how A Boogie does the rap R&B together.
Not A Boogie.
So I rock with that too. There's a kid, J.I. the Prince of New York. Like
J.I. shout out J.I.
Yeah. J.I. is dope. Like I mess with that type of vibe. You feel me? So like, that's
so
like a R&B.
You like the melodic. You like the melodic.
Yeah, I mess with that.
The singing vibe. Women's best in the game, y'all lucky. Oh my God, look at
Jason do the melodic too. I don't know why you acting right there. Jason, you know what's crazy, Danny? Jason makes music.
He makes music. I just dropped. Yeah, I've been making music, man.
Okay, I gotta tap in, bro. I gotta tap in. I need to hear this.
Hey, we can do it. Hey, we can do it whenever, Danny.
I gotta tap in. I ain't no so for me, I mean, I think everybody loves to or appreciates the things that they're not good at.
Yes.
Or things that, you know, like rappers want to be athletes, athletes want to be rappers, or we wish we could sing or some shit like that. Excuse my language, sorry. But for me, like, so I feel like I could write raps, but I could never do. You know what I'm saying? I could never.
Did you ever try getting in the booth though?
Nah, I just don't. Mind you, even when I do media, sports media, I don't like my voice. I don't like hearing my voice. It's weird.
You got a nice voice, man.
Appreciate that, but I just don't like hearing. To me, it's weird.
Yeah, I used to be like that too.
And I feel like I could
write back the voice memos. Yeah.
I could write probably for somebody else, but writing for me, I don't know what I would rap about for my life because nothing is that crazy that's going on for me to like.
Nothing's that crazy. You was in the NBA.
Come on,
I guess I could write it like, but nobody wants to hear what you rap. People want to hear about like
3 rings, 3 of them.
The trenches.
You was getting paid, Danny.
My trenches right now is parenting. You know what I'm saying? So like, I could talk about parenting, write about being a dad.
But that's hard too, because J. Cole kind of did that on what was that album I really like from Cole? He kind of did that on what was it?
He don't listen to J. Cole.
No, yes I do. I but this is my favorite album call. I'm gonna tell you right now. It's not coming to my mind. Chat, help me out with this one. It is. I'm gonna tell you right now.
What, the Fallout? Is it the Fallout? No.
No, it was the first album I ever paid for. Yes, For Your Eyes Only. It was the first album I ever paid for. Literally. And I remember Cash Nancy was ripping it apart. You know what I'm saying? But this is my favorite Cole album. For me personally. For Your Eyes Only. I must have played it 1,000 times.
Cole is always dope, man. He always got like deeper, but I feel like it's also like a mood thing. Like that's more me on some chill vibes. Some of his stuff, yeah, I could bump when I'm working out or something. Some of it's like more in chill driving. You know what I'm saying? Somewhere. Music is so influential. I feel it's for different things and always brings you back to a certain time in life or a certain memory.
It's like speaking of music, me being a father soon, any advice on fatherhood?
Bro, it's a whirlwind, bro. It's about to, you've got to be flipped upside down. Like that first.
Their fair share of taxes. My fellow Americans, the establishment, including the corporate media and many of my colleagues in Congress, want you to believe that you are powerless. They want you to believe that you cannot change the status quo, that because of their wealth and their influence, there is nothing you can do to combat them. But that is a lie. Throughout the history of our country, when Americans have stood up and fought for justice, they have prevailed. The founders of our country did it when they stood up to King George. The abolitionists did it when they ended slavery. The working class did it when they stood up to their bosses and formed unions. The suffragettes did it when they demanded that women have the right to vote. The LGBT community did it when they demanded basic human rights. Time and time again, in difficult moments in American history, our people stood up, fought back, and won. They did it then. We can and will do it now. Today, March 28th, 2026, millions of Americans are out on the street demanding freedom, democracy, and justice. But we must make certain today is not the end of our struggle. It is the beginning. Together, when we stand united, we can and will create the kind of nation that you and I know that we can become. Thank you all very much.
And now, please welcome to the stage Congresswoman Ilhan Omar.
Hello, Minnesota. It is so incredible to be here with you all as you show the country just how courageous and dedicated and resistant we are. In the United States of America, we pledge allegiance to the Constitution and the flag, not to a person or a king. I came to this country as a refugee. To me, America was a beacon of hope, a place where freedom wasn't just a word, but it was a promise. I arrived here when I was 12 years old. I could have never imagined the day would come when we were staring down at this kind of creeping authoritarianism in the United States of America. But we are here because Donald Trump just has not chipped away at our democracy. He has taken a wrecking ball to the very foundation of what makes America great. He has tried to intimidate Minnesotans. He has tried to make us afraid. He has tried to divide us. But we stood strong. We have had each other's back, and we have never bent the knee. Because in Minnesota, we are built different. We do not cower to bullies. We are Minnesota strong. What we are seeing right now is bigger than what is happening here. Operation Metro Surge was just the tip of the iceberg. We are witnessing a full-scale assault on our rights, our institutions, and the rule of law. We have an administration that is openly and brazenly breaking the law and is acting like the Constitution is optional. And while they are doing that, they are shamefully and blatantly lying about every single thing they are doing. There were hundreds of millions of dollars in oil futures traded just minutes before a sudden reversal in U.S. policy towards Iran. This is not a coincidence, it is corruption. At DHS, we got a reckless spending spree, planes, vanity projects. It's like a billionaire's midlife crisis, except the American people are paying for it. While the Pentagon keeps failing its audits year after year, somehow they are able to find the budget for steak and lobster. And we know that what Trump calls strength is his idea of liberating women in Iran is to bomb and murder school children. They are pushing for the SAFE Act to disenfranchise millions of voters because they know they are not going to win a fair election. They are floating an illegal takeover of places like Cuba and Greenland like it is some kind of a real estate deal. And under the so-called anti-war president, we have now seen the launching of military operations in Iran, in Venezuela, and in Ecuador. Just a couple of weeks ago, they told us that they blew up a drug trafficking camp in Ecuador, and it turned out to be a dairy farm. A dairy farm. This is what incompetency and unchecked power looks like. It is reckless, it is dangerous, and this is not what our country will stand for. But I still have hope. I have hope in every one of you that is here today. I have hope in people across this country. We are going to speak up. We are going to continue to show up. Because we refuse to believe in a future ruled by fear, corruption, and chaos. We are not a country of kings. We are a country of laws. We are a country where people look out for one another. And we are a country that will fight peacefully, powerfully, and persistently to protect our democracy. I love you, Minnesotans. Thank you so much for being out here. And now it is my honor. It is my honor to introduce a lifelong hero of mine, the incredible, brave, courageous Jane Fonda.
Hi, everybody. Hi. I'm not going to make a speech because we're running late and there's a bunch of people who have to catch planes. Let me just say thank you, thank you, thank you, Minnesota. Thank you, all the unions. Thank you, all the churches and mosques and synagogues and clergy and neighbors. We are learning so much from you. Now, when I point to you, you're going to say Minnesota, okay? When people ask me how I know we will win, I have one word to say. When people ask me how I know love is stronger than hate, I say. When people ask me how nonviolence can win, I have one word to say. Thank you, Minnesota. Now, Becca Good, the wife of Renee Good, has asked me to read a statement, which I am honored to do. Hello, Minnesota. This is from Becca Good. I am so proud to call Minneapolis my home. I can't stop talking about how absolutely beautiful it is to see how Minnesota shows up for its people. I want to say thank you for how you've shown up for me, how you've shown up and shown out for all the people victimized by this horrible moment in history. So many people have reached out to me and surrounded me with safety and care, and I know I am not alone in feeling in awe of your generosity. Neighbors are paying people's rent and groceries. Hundreds of businesses become community hubs. This is beautiful. And beyond Minnesota, people all over the country and the world care about what happens here to all of us. I've received cards from elder grandmas saying, this is not what I voted for. I feel it, Rebecca says. I feel it, the immense love. And now other cities are taking their cue from what we've learned and creating new ways of caring for each other. Right on. And I want you to know that my sweet dog Wapsie is okay. All right. We love dogs. She is my sidekick and best friend for 12 years, and she is healing alongside me from what we lost that day. The reality is I am so heartbroken. I miss my wife. The world now knows that my wife sparkled with sunshine and shone with kindness that is unmatched. We were robbed of an incredible human. It has made people pause and take a breath and have to choose sides. We choose the side of love. Yes. Everyone who was there when my wife was taken from me has had their lives destroyed that day, including those agents. What we need is to stop destroying life. What is happening now is the result of far deeper issues that have been simmering across this country for a long time. Divisive rhetoric, escalating tensions, fear-mongering. We have to address the root causes of these issues and stop this violence where it came from. Renee and I stood for radical kindness. I love that notion, radical kindness. Renee and I believe that one of the things that will foster a world of radical kindness is to be able to admit mistakes and learn from them. We are allowed to decide that what we believed before isn't what we believe anymore. To change your mind is beautiful and powerful and brave. Renee and I believe that the love that's needed to build a world where we care for everyone already exists. Yeah, it already exists. Look at you all. And I see now that this is true. I have seen it. We have all seen it. And it sparkles. because we know we can do better together. This is not the America I was told existed. I was told we are the people. I did not ask to be thrust into the spotlight or to be expected to speak out. It's a circumstance I unfortunately found myself in. But regardless of how I arrived here, I feel it's my responsibility to send a message that hate has divided us and destroyed so many lives and families. But we can choose something else. We can choose radical kindness. So let's do this. And now, it is my honor to introduce a young woman whom I love a lot, a great singer and a great soul, Maggie Rogers.
What's going on, Minnesota? I have been so inspired by the resilience and the fortitude that has been coming out of this state. So much love in the face of evil and hate. And the best way that I know how to give a little bit of love back to this city that has been such a beacon of it is to sing a song. This is called Different Kind of World. Thank you so much for having me. There's nowhere else in the world I would rather be today. Running all together, I'm the different kind of girl. Na, 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 na. Na, 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 ooh, when we're riding all together, it's a different, I'm a different kind of girl. It's my honor to introduce to you a good friend of mine who's also one of my heroes. Please welcome the great Joan Baez to the stage.
Here we are. Come over here. Are we going here? All right.
Just gonna be moaning a tiny thing, and then I'll come and sing with you.
Thank you, Maggie. I'm honored to be standing in resistance with all of you today. On this stage, in this city, at this moment. For those of us who believe in the power of nonviolent resistance, and those of you who didn't, you have shown the way with your courage, determination, and decency. Thank you, Minneapolis.
Thank you.
Joan, there is.
Okie doke.
Yeah? Yeah. All right. I'm going to stand right here.
I'm going to stand right here.
Perfect. All right. I think you first sang this song on the March on Washington. Is that right?
I sang this song for the first time with Dr. Martin Luther King in Grenada, Mississippi, actually, and then again on the March on Washington.
Come rising critics, prophesize with your bow. Make some noise for Tom Morello. Woohoo!
Come mothers and fathers throughout the land, and don't criticize what you don't understand. Minneapolis, Minnesota is beyond your command. Your old road is rapidly aging, so get the fuck out the way if you can't lend a hand. Cause the times they are a-changing.
The line it is drawn, the curse it is cast. The slower now will later be fast, as the present now will later be past. The order is rapidly fading. Get the first one now will later be last, and the times they are a-changing. For the times they are a-changing.
Thank you, Minneapolis. You're an inspiration to the nation.
Thank you, Tom Morello. Thank you, thank you, thank you. To the next song, I sang this with Dr. King in Montgomery, Alabama, 60 years ago. I'm deeply moved to sing it here today with two groups
you all know. They were born on the streets of this city and stood through the freezing winter with you and are standing still, are showing up and still standing and playing the Brass Solidarity Band. Formed spontaneously after the murder of George Floyd. It is a joyous celebration of the power of music. And the Singing Resistance is a group of folks from across Minnesota who simply could not be silent about injustice and the attacks on their communities, and they came together, their voices raised in a chorus of people's power. I'm proud to be with you all here today. And now, please join us. You all here? Oh, wonderful. Okay, to this next song. We're getting it together. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. And keep on walking and keep on talking, marching up to freedom land. Ain't gonna let discrimination turn me around, no. Turn me around, no. Turn me around. Ain't gonna let discrimination turn me around. Keep on walking and keep on talking, marching up to freedom land.
No kings ain't gonna let no kings turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. Ain't gonna let no kings turn me around. I'm gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, gonna you world. Injustice ain't gonna let injustice turn me around, turn me around. Injustice, oh, I'm gonna let injustice turn me around. I'm gonna keep on walking, keep on talking,
marching up to freedom land.
Racism ain't gonna let racism turn me around. No, no, racism ain't gonna let racism turn me around. Gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, marching up to freedom. No president gonna let no president turn me around, turn me around. No president ain't gonna let no president turn me around. I'm gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, marching up to freedom land.
Turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. Whoa, turn me around. Keep on walking, keep on talking, marching to freedom land.
No voy a dejar la migra a detenerme, a detenerme, a detenerme. No voy a dejar la migra a detenerme.
I'm gonna keep on walking,
y cantando, marching up to freedom.
nobody ain't gonna let
And Minnesota's own Attorney General Keith Ellison and Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan.
Oh, Minnesota! I'm so grateful to see all of you. Bonjour. Peggy Flanagan and Dishnakaz, Gijuebadamakoi Indigo, Guabaga and Cognan Jaba, Mayango Nodame. My name is Peggy Flanagan. My Ojibwe name is Speaks in a Loud and Clear Voice Woman. I'm a member of the White Earth Nation, and my family is the Wolf Clan. And the role of our clan is to ensure that we leave no one behind. And that's one of the reasons why I am so proud to be a Minnesotan. You have been showing the world with your own loud and clear voices what it means to leave no one behind. You know, I grew up on the margins. My mom needed food stamps, childcare assistance, and Medicaid to afford it all. I am the descendant of Native people who have lived here since time immemorial, who were pushed from their homes onto the White Earth Reservation. And I am the great-granddaughter of a young girl who traveled here from Ireland at the age of 15. She sailed to this country with her younger siblings that she was responsible for. And that is my story, and everyone here has a story in how you got here today. For generations, powerful people have tried to silence us. And there are so many reasons why we shouldn't be here, why we shouldn't exist. But we are here because we are resilient. And friends, Donald Trump thinks we should just shut up and do what we're told. But that has never worked for me, and that will never work for you. Donald Trump underestimated Minnesotans. He thought that we would back down. He thought we would get tired, that we would turn on each other, but we turned towards each other. He underestimated the power of educators, servers, construction workers, nurses, poets, and moms, and people working together. And no one asked to be on the front lines, but Minnesotans stepped up. And everyday people showed us how to be incredible just by caring about each other. And you are here today because you understand the whole point of No Kings. When federal agents kill our neighbors in the streets, when cowards vote to steal healthcare and food off the table, and billionaires rip off everyday people, and wannabe dictators start illegal wars, we will not be silent. This mass of humanity, of community, this movement in front of me shows the world that we are not powerless. Friends, we are the power, and we've decided that we will help our neighbor and we will welcome the stranger. This movement is for everybody who knows that this president has gone too far. Because if you come for one of us, you come for all of us. And Minnesotans, we are carrying a lot right now. Grief, anger, the weight of what has been done to our communities, done to our children, to our babies, and the heaviness of the lives that have been taken. Renee Good should be alive. Alex Preddy should be alive. We say their names, we honor their memories, and we turn our grief into action. Because the work is not done and the crisis is not over. And some of us will never be whole again. But here's the deal, friends. We all know that famous quote from Senator Paul Wellstone, which is, and say it with me, we all do better when we all do better. It is the unofficial slogan of Minnesota. But my favorite quote from Paul Wellstone is, sometimes you gotta pick a fight to win one. Because there are some fights that are worth picking. And for me, my purpose is clear. No matter what I do from here on out, I am fighting to avenge Minnesota. I am fighting to bring justice to our people. Because with this president, there's always plenty of money for ICE, for bombs, and for the oligarchs, just not for you. But they awakened in Minnesota a power that doesn't even exist in Washington, D.C. It exists within each one of us. We're fighting for a future where one job is enough to afford the lives people want to live. We are fighting for where healthcare is a human right, not something that puts you into debt. Where everyone is treated with dignity, no matter who you are or where you come from or what you look like. Where the Constitution still matters, where we don't strip due process away from our immigrant neighbors. And we know that it takes all of us. I am grateful for the work of Senators Klobuchar and Smith for what they have done to push back, and for the work that every person here has done every single day to show the way. And let me close by telling you about my church in North Minneapolis. It is a beautiful parish that looks like Minnesota. It's been pretty empty these last few months because people have been afraid to leave their homes. They've been afraid to worship. But last Sunday, the pews were full. Kids were laughing and crying and singing even when it wasn't time to sing. It was a wonderful, beautiful noise. It was the song of resilience, because we are still here. And I want you to feel that resiliency in your bones. I want you to take a minute and I want you to look at each other. Like, really look at each other. Because we deserve better. We have everything we need to build the future that we want. We are what we need to build the future. And we are going to keep fighting until we get it. And I am honored and humbled to be your lieutenant governor. But more than anything, friends, I am grateful to be your neighbor. And I love you, Minnesota. I love us. Gitchi Miigwech, thank you so much. And I'm going to hand it over to my brother, Attorney General Keith Ellison.
Hey, Minnesota, let me hear you. You know, brothers and sisters, last time I was here with you, right here, was June 14th. And it was hot outside. And earlier that morning, we had lost our beloved sister, Melissa Hortman, and her husband, Mark. And I just want to let you know that that loss has remained with me. I'm sure it's remained with you. And at this time, we also have to remember Renee Good, Alex Preddy. But I want you to keep in your heart and your prayers Victor Manuel Diaz, who died in custody. I want you to think about Liam Conejo Ramos. I want you to think about a young man named Julio Sosa Solis, who did not die but was shot. And I want you to think about all of us and the price that we paid in order to kick ISIS ass out of our state. And the lesson is very simple, friends. Freedom ain't free, and some of us have to pay the dearest cost for the sake of freedom. And we don't want them to pay it. We wish they would never have to pay it, but you can only get rid of tyrants, and you can only defeat tyranny if your love of freedom is so great that you will risk what you have to for your neighbors. That is what it is to me, a free society. That's what it means to live free, to be willing to go to the mat, go to the wall for the people you love and care about. But I want you to know, as your Minnesota Attorney General, that justice is not optional. Accountability is coming. And the names of our neighbors and loved ones will never be forgotten. You might have noticed that me and Moriarty had to file a lawsuit last week. We're suing the federal government to make sure they give us the rest of the damn file. We're not going to let them hang on to the file, say they're not going to investigate, and that's it. It ain't it by a far sight. And I want you to know that we will never back down, that we will never quit. You know, friends, I was in Alabama on March 7th with about 100 other Minnesotans, and we went down to Selma, Alabama, because in 1965, that is where inspiration lived. People of all colors and cultures came there, and they've been coming there ever since, because brave Americans stood up for the right for all Americans to vote. And by that August, we passed the Voting Rights Act, and that by that October, we passed the immigration bill that allowed people to come to America who were not from Northern Europe. Did you know that? So we call it Bloody Sunday. And people were injured, and some people like Viola Liuzzo and Reverend James Reeb didn't survive that interchange. They didn't make it. Thugs and killers and racists killed them. But we still fought for everybody to vote, right to vote, and everybody's right to come to America. And we won those rights. And now, friends, all of those rights are under attack right now. Every right we fought and won is under attack right now. And in Alabama, those people, when I told them I was from Minnesota, I proudly said, I'm from Minnesota. They all applauded. Not for me, but for you. Because in 2026, inspiration lives in Minnesota. If you want to stand up for justice, if you want to be inspired by the noblest and best ideals of all humanity, you got to come to Minnesota. You might have to stop and spend time at the memorial of Alex Preddy on East Street on Nicollet. You might have to go over to Portland to the memorial for our dear beloved sister Renee. But Minnesota, the world looks to you and is inspired by you because of your love and commitment for each other and this country and the principles that hold it up. You are so honored that the JFK Award for Profiles in Courage, well, you won that award. Did you know that? Now, they even nominated you for a Nobel Peace Prize, which is more than I can say for certain people I know. But the fact is that you are an inspiration. You are where people come to get inspired. And I want to just thank all of our out-of-town guests who came. Bernie, you know what I'm saying? Joan Baez, Jane Fonda, all the, Tom Morello, all these amazing labor leaders who've come here. They come here because they know where inspiration lives in 2026, and it lives right here with you. Now, beloved, let me tell you, right now, we got a few more months until there's a national election, and Trump is scared to death. I'm not here to tell you who to vote for. Hell, you know who to vote for. Vote for the people who vote for your family. Vote for people who don't kill your neighbors. Vote for people who don't throw your neighbors in detention. Vote for people who don't raise taxes on you and drive up your prices. Vote for people who don't start foreign wars after they promise not to. You know what to do, but what you got to do is to do it. We've got to have the largest turnout the history this state has ever known. And we're the #1 turnout state in the country already. But we've got to convert this great energy into electoral success. The bottom line is there's a lot of ways to push back on a tyrant. One of them is to sue him. I do it all the time, did it 57 times. Another way is to do street activism, protest, demonstration. Another one is art, but another one is voting. And please don't discount that one. That one will be important. We got, in part, we got into this mess because of an election, and we're going to help get ourselves out of it through an election. Now, let me wrap up by saying that we've got to be real clear. It wasn't just the election that got us here. It was a set of decisions made over the course of the last many decades where some leaders in both parties, my friends, did not put the working class people of America first. And we have got to say that we absolutely demand free and fair elections and will stand for them. We got to demand leaders who will stand up for our democracy. We got to demand to keep dark money out of these elections. We have got to demand that these giant companies that love to merge with each other also they can screw us out of our money get stopped. We got to stop this merger mania. We have got to demand a free and a fair economy. We've got to get collective bargaining going again. We've got to raise the minimum wage. We got to have universal single-payer health care for all, because it won't do just to get rid of one bad guy and then 4 years later get another one, because we haven't done what we needed to do to solidify shared prosperity in America. So, beloved, let me just say as I wrap up, on behalf of me and my dear sister, Peggy Flanagan, love this lady. She is the best. Give it up for Peggy, y'all. I want us to think about a new birth of freedom for this country. I want us to look past Trump and into the society that we dream about, where we have prosperity, peace for all in this time. God bless everybody.
Before we continue, we have a public service announcement. Joan Molinar. If you are looking for Maureen Corlath, she is at the Lost and Found area located on Martin Luther King Boulevard. That is the street to the left of the stage as you face the Capitol. Again, Joan Molinar. If you are looking for Maureen Corlath, she is located at the Lost and Found area. And next, we have two fierce advocates serving in the Minnesota State Legislature. Please welcome Representatives Lee Finke and Shelley Buck.
Hello, sorry that took a while. Hello, those of you still joining us. Thank you so much for hanging around. My name is Lee Finke. I use she, her pronouns. I'm a state representative. I work here along with my colleague Shelley Buck in the Minnesota House of Representatives. I'm here to provide a little trans representation, but I'm also here to demand our trans liberation. And I'm here to demand our liberation for everyone. I don't mean only queer and trans liberation, but all of ours. Immigrants, refugees, undocumented neighbors, our friends with disabilities, our indigenous tribal nations, everyone, full equality, full inclusion, full stop. So here's the thing I want you to remember when someone asks what the trans lady was yelling about at the No Kings rally. You can tell them that these fascist thugs in Washington, they are actually not the gatekeepers of our shared liberation. The violent, hateful ideologies of these men, it will end. Men like this come and men like this go. Minnesota beat back the fascist ICE invasion, and the rest of the nation will too. When Trump and his cronies are long gone, queer and trans and immigrant and disabled folks will still be here. We will still be here fighting for our shared liberation, and we will need you at that time to continue to fight for all of this. This won't be the end for us. This won't be the end for any of us. But we are in the hot fire right now. All of our vulnerable communities need you, and you know why. The forces of oppression are obvious, conspicuous. It is like the apocalypse. You know who the bad guys are, and you know who the good guys are. But we know these fascists are bound to lose. And when they are gone in the dustbins of history, your trans, two-spirit, non-binary, queer, immigrant neighbors, we will still be here fighting for our lives. And we will need you to be in the streets then, too. It is not just now, it is not just Trump, it is what comes after. We still will need you to fight for our lives. Liberation now, justice for Renee, justice for Alex, justice for all of the families affected by this government. Stay safe, keep fighting. Thank you.
A little shorter here. Hamadako Yepi, Chante Washtea Nape Chu Japi, Shelly Bakamaki Yapie, Damakota, De Dakota Makoche. Hello, my relatives. I greet you with a good heart and handshake. My name is Shelly Buck. I am Dakota, and this is Dakota Homelands. Dakota people are some of the first stewards of this place we call Minnesota Makoche, or Minnesota. For us, it is more than a home. It is the place of our origin on this earth. Through this, we know that we are all interconnected. Our values, our hopes, and our dreams for our children and the next 7 generations. In the past, they stole our children, cut our people's hair, tried to steal the language from our tongues, and tried to convert us into one of them. Throughout a history of erasure, eradication, and state-sanctioned genocidal violence, our people did more than resist. It is because of our ancestors' insistence and endurance and their refusal to abandon the love they carried for all their relatives, whether human or non-human, that I am here before you today. White supremacy and the claws of those who embody it continue to dig into our backs. And the government, again, is stealing our people. ICE and the federal government continue to try to break our bodies, spirits, and wills, but my friends, they have failed miserably. Love, laughter, and connectedness with our land and our neighbors is powerful medicine. It feeds our souls and keeps us moving. We know that the violence of white supremacy, of discrimination and oppression are all continuances of the legacies of colonialism that remain today. Though in vastly diverse ways, we are all inheritors of these violent colonial legacies and the systems that continue to uphold them. And so the responsibility to imagine and create and work toward a more radically just present and future is a shared inheritance too. Pedamaya Yepi, thank you to all of you for being engaged in this work of justice and liberation, for all that you have done and continue to do to help ensure the legacies we hand down can guide us toward a future to be proud of. Mitakuye Owasin Padamaya Yepi. Thank you, all my relatives.
The invasion of Minnesota neighborhoods is symbolic of this administration's assault on working families across the country. Organized labor is pushing back here in the Twin Cities and in the halls of power. To speak about that resistance, please welcome President Liz Shuler of the AFL-CIO, President Randy Weingarten of the American Federation of Teachers, and President of the SEIU, April Verrett.
Hello, Minnesota! I'm Liz Shuler, president of the AFL-CIO, America's labor unions. Do we have worker power out there today? That's what I thought. I'm so proud to stand up here alongside my union sisters, Randy and April, bringing the voices of 15 million workers across 65 unions and every worker in this country. That's right. Over and over this past year, we've seen this administration try to divide us as working people. Whether or not we were born here, whether we were blue collar, white collar, gay, straight, trans, black, white, Latino, they try to divide us because they could not be more afraid. They could not be more afraid of what happens when we stop looking to the left and to the right and we start looking at them. When 3 rich people have more money than half the rest of us in this country, does that work for working people? Hell no. When CEOs are making $90 million a year while their workers can't afford groceries, does that work for working people? Hell no. When everything in this country is so damn expensive and Trump's answer is to cut the taxes of his billionaire friends, is that a country that works for working people? Hell no. No Kings is about standing up to the guy in the White House. But no Kings also means tearing down an economy, buying for billionaires, and instead building it up for working people. More money in our pockets, because no one in the richest country on earth should struggle to get by. More time off to spend with our friends, family, kids, and loved ones. Equal pay for Black and Latina women who are still making 58 cents on the dollar. Because opportunity in this country should not depend on the color of your skin. And you know where it all starts. It starts with a good union job for every worker in this country. Because we all know it's better in a union. I look around and we honor those we have lost in the detention centers and in the streets. Our brothers, sisters, and siblings, they have been taken from us because they had the courage to stand up. And I want to name and honor our union brother, Alex Preddy, who stood up for democracy and his community in the streets and fought for democracy with his AFGE brothers and sisters and siblings in the workplace as a trade unionist. Every single thing we've won in this country happened because we fought for it. It happened because of days like today. This is the power. We have the power. Do we have the power? We have the power. And now I'm so honored to introduce my union sister, president of the AFT, Randy Weingarten. Woo!
Okay, Minnesota! So I know the hour is late, but this has been an amazing crowd, not only here, but all across America, fighting for the promise of America, fighting for a democracy that works for all, fighting against kings or the prospect of them. Now, you know I'm going to be a little bit of a teacher, because once a teacher, always a teacher. So here's the social studies teacher coming out in me today. Democracy can feel like an abstract concept. Now, not to you, because today in Minnesota, this is what democracy is like. But, why do we say no kings? Because the only way the government acts for the people, listens to the people, responds to the people, solves the people's problems, is if it is a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. That's why standing up and showing up, being in solidarity like millions of us are doing today is so important. It is the only way we can get the government to act in our interest, act in our kids' interests, act in working people's interests. It's the only way we can tackle housing costs and healthcare costs and child care costs and save our damn retirement. It's the only way we can rein in ICE and protect our students and our immigrant neighbors. The only way is if the government is for the people, not for billionaires, not for their cronies, and not for a president's self-interest. Donald Trump was elected because he claimed he wanted families to have a better, more affordable life. Instead, as so many have said on this stage today, he's made it harder that is costing $1 billion a day. He tripled ICE's budget, but he couldn't find enough money to extend the ACA tax credits, so how many people across America are losing health care or paying through the nose for it? He couldn't fund Medicaid, so now rural hospitals are closing. He golfed at Mar-a-Lago while people were losing SNAP, and he's attacked universities and public schools that 90% of kids in America go to, and doing all of this while Melania is trying to replace teachers with robots. And he chose to take on Minnesota. But Minnesota, through this brutal winter, you showed the way. Compassion for our neighbors, courage in the face of brutality, and solidarity, because we are braver and stronger when we are together. And let me say one more thing here. Solidarity also means taking on target. As my union did this week, this means this: America's educators will shop elsewhere, not Target, for back to school, because Target refuses to stand up to ICE. Donald Trump may pretend that he's not listening, but he can't ignore the millions in the streets today at more events than there are counties in America. We are a movement of many faiths and races, a movement across geography and demography. And Americans don't agree on everything, but we agree that we, the people, have to have the ultimate say, not the president, and sure as hell not a wannabe king. So as we are closing up today, let me ask you this: are you sick and tired of the lies? Are you angry about gas prices? Do you want a voice? Then no kings today and freedom tomorrow. No kings today, change the country tomorrow. No all, not self-interest for some. That's what we mean when we say no kings, no crowns, no thrones. And let me introduce Emperor Verrett from the SEIU.
Minnesota! Minnesota! Let me tell y'all something. Y'all are not just nice. Minnesota is patient. I am indeed April Verrett, and I am the proud president of the 2 million member Service Employee International Union. And I made it my mission to be here today because I gotta tell you all, this is my new crush. And I'm crushing hard on Minnesota. Minnesota, y'all got me all in my feelings because you don't just not back down. Minnesota stands 10 toes down. You stand 10 toes down for justice. You stand 10 toes down for community. You stand 10 toes down for democracy. And democracy is why we are here today, ain't it? It is because this is supposed to be a democracy, but it sure doesn't feel like one. It sure doesn't feel like one while working people are doing every damn thing we can and still falling behind. While the forces of exploitation and white supremacy stay busy crowning kings. They crown corporate greed so that the people doing the work struggle while the people at the top cash in. They've crowned systems that decide who gets access and who gets left behind and somehow try to convince us that it's fair. They've crowned power that operates without any accountability and tell the rest of us just to deal with their wars. Are we gonna accept that, Minnesota? No. Nah, we gonna call them on their bullshit. Because in a democracy, you don't get crowned. In a democracy, you don't get ignored. In a democracy, you answer to the people. You answer to the people in Minnesota. Right here, right now, are the people. In SEIU, we're talking about the 3 things that we're fighting for. Y'all ready? Yes. In SEIU, we are fighting for money, for power, and for respect. Money, because working people deserve more than to just get by. Power, because power doesn't just belong to the wealthy. It belongs to all of us. And respect, because too many of us feel like being treated like we don't matter, that's over. So yeah, we're fighting for money, power, and respect, and I might have to remind y'all, Javier know it. Back in the 90s, Little Kim said, money, power, and respect, what you need in life. Money, power, and respect, you'll be living right. Money, power, and respect, you'll be eating right. You can sleep at night. It's the key to life. So yeah, money, power, and respect. That's what no kings really means. It means rejecting a system where a few people get crowned while they rule over the rest of us. So I'll ask you, are we gonna let them keep their crowns? Are we gonna take back what belongs to us? Then say it with me, no thrones, no crowns, no kings, no thrones, no crowns, no kings. Let's go get it, Minnesota.
As you leave the event today, please make sure to stay on sidewalks and follow traffic laws, because roads will no longer be closed to traffic and marshals will not be escorting you back to the March kickoff sites. For those of you who need to board buses after the program, all buses will be parked in